Hi everyone! Welcome! Hi everyone, can you hear me okay? Welcome! I'm so sorry, today we're starting early, and I'm sorry for the short notice with that. You know, I thought maybe it would be a good thing to give the European bros a better time for today. But I understand it's short notice, so I'm very sorry about that. Okay, audio's good. Awesome, thank you. And I think who's gonna win the cup is, I don't know who's playing, but I'm gonna say definitely not France. So whatever that means. Let's see. Anyways, welcome on in everyone. Today is a Just Chatting stream, but it's gonna be a bit different today. I have actually a structured thing about hobbies, so hopefully that interests you. If not, get a damn hobby. So I'm gonna say hi to everyone. We're not gonna do the end of stream question today for two reasons, and that's because one, it was a bit short notice. A lot of people can't make it. It's not the usual time, and I don't want the usual regulars to be excluded. I mean, yeah, they could watch the VOD. You can't make every stream, I understand that, but I also mainly just want to be able to get through everything I want to talk about, and I don't know how long that will take. So for those two reasons, we won't have an interesting question today, so I'm not going to read the ones at the beginning. Sorry, that just takes too long. Hopefully you understand. But let's say hi to everyone. Welcome on in, Nepgear, glad you can make it. Jordan, hello. I have actually played Nintendo 64 games on my stream before. We've played Paper Mario, so that's, and it's not the only one. I've played Majora's Mask, some other Nintendo 64 games. But how are you doing today? Good to see you. Also, hello to Lulu. Welcome on in. We've got Tenma, hello, Chiyuki, glad you can make it. Dustin, glad you woke up. I'd be worried if you didn't. Good to see you. Slick Nick, welcome on in. Leo, glad you can make it. Yeah, it's better time for you, right, Leo? Let's see, Carlos, welcome on in. We've also got Cal, hello. Yeah, I'm sorry it's so early. Locke, good to see you. Chibi, welcome on in. Yeah, it's early because something came up that I wanted to go to, so this is kind of the only time I could really move it to. Axolotl leader, welcome on in. Okay, France is probably gonna win. Okay, actually my money's on France. I was actually gonna say that and then I decided not to, so that was my original guess. Let's see, next we have, oh, Bakama, it's been a bit since I've seen you. How have you been? Yeah, early stream, welcome on in. Let's see, we've got Calister, glad you can make it. And Julie loves cereal, good to see you. Can't stay for long, I want to say hi, you're a great person. You too, my friend. Thank you so much, that's very nice of you. Thank you for stopping by. So, glad everyone could make it. So you might be like, okay, well, what's the rundown, May? Well, to be fair, I only thought of this very recently, so I'm not pretending like I've got a whole video essay for you, because I'm saving that for the Disgaea video. It's not a date. Me being busy is a date? No, I wish, no. But let's see, so today I'm gonna go kind of into my hobbies, because here's the thing, and I kind of posted about this on Twitter. I've been thinking, what really sets me apart from other VTubers? You know, I've got a lot of things going on, but there's a lot of people who can sing, a lot of people can, you know, anybody can boot up Dark Souls. There's a lot of people who just are VTubers, so that doesn't really set me apart. And I was thinking, you know, what really makes me different? I've got a lot of niche hobbies, but you wouldn't know that if you clicked on my stream. You wouldn't know that. You'd just see me playing Dark Souls and failing at it. So, I would say, I think I should laser focus in on some of the niche things that set me apart, because really that's not something anyone else can replicate. I've had a lot of unique hobbies, expertise on these hobbies, and you know, nobody can copy that from me. So I've decided I'm gonna do a few things. We're gonna have some more members only streams, and one of those is going to be a figure unboxing stream monthly. So it'll be like a hand cam sort of review stream. We're also going to do a twice a month, maybe 3 times a month aquarium update with a video and just letting you know how everything's going with that. We're also going to have various other hobby streams. Oh, what else did I think of? Oh, I forgot. Well, maybe like a collection showing stream once a month, like another hand cam. So those are the things I'm thinking of, because I do have a lot of hobbies, but you wouldn't know that if I don't show them off, right? And I like to do these, you know, maybe answer some frequently asked questions, or, you know, help people get into a hobby. So that's kind of what we're doing today. You might be like, well, what the thumbnail said, you'll give me a hobby? I've got one for you. Alright, Mr. Bones, how about keeping a garden? Or if you can't have a garden, you could just get like one of those little herb stands, like keep little jars of little herbs and you can use those for cooking. How about that? I'm gonna give you all a hobby, and I'm gonna encourage you to start a hobby that maybe you're curious about and didn't know how to go about. So axolotls are a hobby. Yes, Slicknick, axolotls are a hobby. I'm not 20% more moldy, you're wrong about that though. But yeah, we're gonna have an interesting stream today, hopefully. I don't know, I hope it's interesting. If not, well, I guess I gotta work on that. I guess that's something else I have to work on to stand out. Also, hi Sleepy Boy, welcome on in, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing alright. Yeah, it makes me sad when people say they don't have one. I think everyone should have a hobby. I don't understand people who don't, and maybe this stream will help them. I don't know. Maybe it won't. Let's see, raise his hand. Miss Miyuri, is walking back and forth in my room a hobby? Exercise is a hobby, but I think we could take it further than just that, but I'm not going to necessarily say no. So let's start with a few things here. Alright, so, you know, I think that a lot of people say they want a hobby, but actually you just want the result of the hobby. For example, you want the art that you're good at drawing, or you want a nice aquarium and you don't know how to go about setting it up. You want to be able to speak Japanese, but you don't want to learn Japanese. There's a lot of things like that where you know, it's about the journey, okay? You want to get good at an instrument, you have to first learn how to play it. So I think the framework we're going to start with is to stop looking, you know, okay, number one, and maybe I should write this down, okay, I don't know, maybe the transcript will be easy to just skim through, maybe I'll make a proper video about this later, but let's start with my first point, which is to stop looking for the right hobby. There is no right hobby. If you pick the wrong hobby, you can simply drop it. So I think a lot of people are afraid to start things, projects, and you know, what have you. I'll talk a bit about myself here, aquarium keeping, or even, how about streaming? Like I mentioned on a few streams ago, streaming was something I always thought about that I wanted to do, but I put it off for years and years because I thought, well, how do I go about it? I'm a perfectionist, maybe some of you are. I want to do everything right, but simply no hobby do you start doing right, because that takes practice, and people who have talent also have skill, and skill is something that anybody can build. So yeah, maybe if you have a talent for something, it's easier to build that skill, just like kind of multiplies it, we'll say. Maybe it's faster or easier for you to pick up on, but a skill is something that anyone can work on and obtain, and I think that 99% of these hobbies or things that you think are talents are actually skills. So take that as an encouragement, because really, if I can learn how to sing, and I used to really suck at it, I think anybody can. I think that goes with anything. Because I'm telling you, I used to really think I was tone deaf or something, and I'm not saying I'm a professional, amazing musical artist now, but I've gotten to the point where people listen to my music and look forward to my music and, you know, listen to me on Spotify. I've got many listens there, so I'm not like trying to brag, I'm saying anybody can do it. Let's see, Chibi says, I do have a hobby, but don't feel comfortable to talk about it. That's okay, we're gonna go through a bunch of hobbies here, maybe you'll get a new one. I like the idea of hitting 00 on the roulette wheel. I hate the process of doing it. Exactly, yes, so it's kind of that same idea. Well, let's see. But again, I think a lot of people are perfectionists like me. You expect to try something and it doesn't go well and you drop it. And you know what? If you truly don't like said thing, nobody is making you stick with it, okay? But if you have a curiosity for something, I think you should try it. You don't have to marry the hobby, okay? You don't have to stick with it forever. You don't have to be good at it for it to be a hobby. And you don't have to spend all your time on it to be a hobby, you know? It can be something casual. You can be a casual fan of something or a hardcore fan of something. I've said that before. But you want something that's like at least holds your attention and is interesting or motivating enough for you to continue it, right? At least for a month or so. I don't know. If you can, how about this? I'll give you guys a goal. Pick up a hobby, and if you can keep it for a month, then you got this. You got to stick with it, but find something that you can really entertain you for a month. That's the goal, okay? Not just a day, not just a week, something you can stick with for a month and then hopefully longer. Let's see, Dustin says, I hate the idea of going bald. I love the process of watching Mei. Those are contradicting things. You're gonna go bald, my friend. But thank you for your view. I appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, so that kind of leads into my next point, is not everything has to be productive. So if you're curious about it and if you enjoy it, it doesn't have to necessarily be a skill. Okay, because there are hobbies out there that are not productive at all and that you won't get better at because it's simply not a skill. Your hobby could be watching Mei Miyuri. You don't get better or worse at that, you simply do it or don't do it, okay? Maybe you pay more attention one day, maybe you don't, I don't know, but it's still a hobby just as valid as any other. Cal says, my hobby is writing, moderating for Mei Miyuri and Pew Pews. All valid hobbies, all cool hobbies, I like them, thank you. Hi Chikoko, welcome on in, good to see you, I'm glad you were able to catch the stream. Yeah, it was quite a bit earlier today, so I'm sorry about that. I know it's inconvenient for some, hopefully convenient for others, but it's good to have you, welcome on in. Let's see, hobby should be something you at least enjoy a little. Exactly, that's kind of the definition of a hobby, isn't it? If you don't, that's another thing I don't get, but I won't really go into this, but why do people do hobbies they don't enjoy? Why do they LARP as something they really don't care for? Hell if I know. Can't say I know because I've got too many hobbies to manage and I'm always looking to pick up another one. Anyways, let's go into the next point. So you might be asking, well, what am I good at? What should I turn my hobby into that something I can actually do that I'm good at? I don't think that's the right question that you should be asking. The videos you watch for fun in your free time, or the kind of stores you wander into looking, even if you don't buy anything, just window shopping, even online, what kind of products do you look up? Okay, and please don't say something like really stupid like Funko Pops, okay, please, I will ban you. And not really, but okay, I'm thinking like, you've all got projects or ideas in your mind, I know you do, and if you don't, you used to in the past, why don't you remember what it was? What do you click on? What really interests you? What maybe it's watching somebody on YouTube do the hobby and you were too afraid to try it yourself. You like those videos where they put the aquarium together but you don't have your own aquarium, something like that. You know, if your whole feed on YouTube is those aquarium videos, that's what your hobby is or can be. If someone, if you're always looking at those cosplay photos on Instagram, maybe cosplay is your hobby, or maybe photography. I don't know, whatever you're looking at or already have an interest in, the clues are already there. Why don't you dive into it and give it a proper try? That's what I'm gonna say. I'll talk about my own hobbies in a bit, but right now I'm just trying to encourage everyone to pick up a hobby because damn, if you're watching Mei Miyuri on an afternoon weekday, I can tell you ain't got no hobbies. So that's what that's who this video is for. You guys watching right now, and I'm just teasing you. And that's my hobby, is teasing my viewers. But I do like you guys. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, hobby should be. Yeah, that's where you're wrong, May. With each May stream, my roasting skill improved by 1%. Can it even improve higher than it already has? I don't know. Chibi says, I guess for me my hobby is looking up new games and anime to play and read. I might be like adorable May. I don't know why you're scared to talk about that, Chibi. I think those are great hobbies. Those are perfectly valid hobbies. Those are fun hobbies. Those are awesome hobbies. I'm happy for you and I hope that you'll continue them. Let's see, Chikoko says, I'm the same here thanks to May's dolls. Oh really? You like the dolls? That's great. Found it incredible that she was sharing them. I'll have to do, I've been meaning to do another doll stream, so thank you for putting that back on the mind for the May agenda. Thank you. Chiyuki says, I have too many hobbies, resisting the urge to start more. Okay, this video is not for you. This stream is not for you. You've got too many. You've got too many. I know how that feels. I'm the same way. Let's see, I love watching horror, but I would never play a horror game. Well, I mean, I think maybe you should try it, but if they're so set against it, then that doesn't have to be it. Surely there's something else you like. Hating is a great hobby, exactly. I'm telling you, it's my #1 hobby because it's the cheapest and it's the most readily available to me. That's why hating is my #1 hobby. A lot of hobbies cost money, that's why I love to hate. It's free. Dan Larson says, I love watching 1/64th scale die-cast racing videos here on YouTube, but I definitely don't have space to build a custom track. Okay, that's fair, Dan, but maybe we can find a way to explore hobbies you'd think you normally can't try. I'll lead that into another point later. But you do make a good point, not everything's accessible, or at least not immediately accessible, but that doesn't mean we can't still enjoy it. So, good point. I do have actually a point I wrote down about that later, so sit tight. Also good to see you. Callister says my hobbies are gaming, Reading, learning to draw, and playing your electric keyboard. Oh, awesome! I like that. Open to adding more though. Hopefully this will help you find something new. Well, if you're open to something new, why not? Working out. That's a very healthy hobby. Yes, if you're able to, I would encourage that. Let's see. Oh, I wasn't talking about myself. Oh, I was joking about people who only watch Markiplier, Manly, Badass Hero, etc. Oh, I was. No wonder it was in quotation marks. Okay. Autophobic, hello, welcome on in. Good to see you, and hello, Jax. Nice to see you as well. Hobbies are watching anime, reading manga, based, and axolotl pilled. I love it. But let's not get too sidetracked here because I do have a lot written down I want to go through. So, like I just said, follow curiosity, not what you're good at, because you know what? You can become good at it, or maybe you don't have to enjoy something. Again, you can be casual about it, you can be bad at it. It can still be a very valid hobby. My next point is, it kind of relates to what Dan says, but not exactly. I'll go into like the whole like, well, how do we make it happen part later. Right now I'm just trying to encourage you. So my third point that I'm going through is to start small, because if you overwhelm yourself, it's not going to be fun. I mean, maybe it's fun for a bit, but overwhelming gets overwhelming, right? So for example, I'm going to talk about myself here. I started with one aquarium. Next thing I know, I had several. If I had several right off the bat, I don't think I would enjoy the hobby anymore, because that's just frankly too much to manage, which is why I've been downscaling and have less tanks than I used to. This goes for any hobby. So say you decide to keep fish. You get a big tank, you go all out, you get the expensive lights, the expensive plants, and the expensive fish, and you don't even know how to take care of them yet. You don't know what kind of substrate they need, you don't know what kind of food they need, you don't even know what fish gets along with what. But you've gone along and said, this is the end thing that I want, let's just jump right there. That's not how you go about it. Again, a hobby is about the journey. You should enjoy doing some research, learning about it, gathering these things little by little, and piecing together the end product, because the goal is not the end product, the goal is learning and enjoying each moment until you get there. And then maintaining the end product, because it's not over when it's done. Anyways, hello Steven, good to see you. Yeah, we have an early stream today. We're talking about hobbies, specifically aquariums right now. But my third point is that everyone, you need to start a bit smaller. So again, and that makes it more accessible, because I mean, maybe you don't have the finances or the space or the means or the time for something that's this big project right off the bat. You can work up there. You don't even have to work up there. You can stay small. But that's gonna kill your hobby if you go all in immediately, and then you're gonna be like one of those people who's watching Mei Miyuri at an afternoon on a weekday and doesn't have any hobbies because you killed every passion you had. Okay, or maybe you didn't have any to begin with. I'm just kidding. I like you guys. I'm just kidding. Anyways, I like that. Chibi Ultra says, like to watch iceberg videos or stories explaining. That's a great one right there, and that's, I think, a very a mind exercising hobby, I would say. Also, hello Thunder Dragon. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Good to see you. Let's see. Oh, he reviews horror games. That's really cool. And see, he's found his niche, and that's probably why his channel is thriving and why you guys know about him. Let's see. Yeah, early stream today. I did write down a script. Well, not really a script. I wrote down like bullet points. So I'm kind of rambling about the bullet points. But we have an order. We do have a sort of framework for this. So I did actually try today. Let's see, and hey, I'm not jobless, just insomniac. It's 3 AM now. Oh goodness, I'm sorry to hear that. I know how that goes though. I have trouble sleeping too. Steven says, that's what happened with your friend. When he first started to get adult money, he went and bought all the Pokemon. Oh no, Pokemon cards. No. Yeah, you're gonna drop the hobby in 3 months. Yeah, that's a horrible idea. You gotta start small. Even if you're sure you're gonna like it, even if you're sure it's worth every cent you spend on it, please still start small. And I'll go into another point about that later, where there's cheap versions and expensive versions of the same hobby, and there's in between, and you just gotta find that balance. But I'll go into that a little bit later because I have an order for this. Let's see, hobbies are figures and photography. I love those. Same here. That's awesome. I'm not very good at photography myself, but I enjoy it. So that's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Calistair says, to add on to what Mei is saying, starting is hard, but you can make it easier by starting small and set more reachable goals. Exactly. So that it doesn't feel overwhelming or inaffordable or impossible or too difficult. This is another way to make it more approachable, you know, entry level. Even the hardest things have a starting point, okay? Let's think about some things like Toho or the Fate series, Type Moon. Look, man, there's so much places you can start with those franchises, but let's not think of it that way. Let's think there's just more to enjoy. I think a lot of people aren't getting into Toho nowadays, and that most of the fans are older fans, and the reason is because there's so many video games, there's so many written works, there's so much even music or, you know, games, doujinshi, whatever. There's so much Toho that you don't know where to start, and everyone almost feels elitist about it because they were already in it before you. But it's not like that. It's not like that. Just think. There's more for me to enjoy. I can start anywhere. The world is your oyster, okay? You can really pick anything and start with it. So instead of viewing it as overwhelming, why don't you start small? I love Type Moon as well, yes, but it definitely gets confusing. Gets confusing and overwhelming. And those are just a couple examples. It can be applied to almost anything, really. Hi Kinos, welcome on in. You require a hobby that does not take time or money. Well, I can think of ones that don't require money, but everything's gonna take time, okay? I firmly believe that everything that is worth it in life takes time and effort. Everything. And if it's easy, if there's some magical cheat to it, it's not rewarding. It's not rewarding. It simply is not rewarding if you don't put time and effort into it. So, is it really even a hobby at that point if you don't enjoy it? I would say no. Anyways, Calistair says it helps you because you're new and inexperienced or exciting milestones. Exactly. You can reach on the way to getting better and more invested. You should set goals for yourself and so that it doesn't just feel pointless. Like there's always something you're working towards, you know, then when you achieve it, you set something new. Let's see, and focus on the end goal. It takes away a lot of stress and expectations you can take away from the enjoyment. Exactly, little milestones. Hi Log, glad to see you, hope you're doing okay. And Destiny, good to see you as well. Yeah, I got my 3D model today. We're talking about hobbies. I'm gonna get back to what I'm talking about. Me dropping my hobby of staring at the sun because of May, that's definitely a harmful hobby I would maybe stop doing. Okay, can we just start off by saying staring at the sun, doing drugs, and like being irresponsible and harmful to yourself, those are not hobbies, guys. Do I really have to say that? Do I really have to say that? Like okay, I'm sorry, like do not take anything to that point that where it's actually causing you harm, people. That's not a hobby. Okay, you know, maybe it is, but I'm no fun. Okay, it's a hobby, but it's a shitty hobby. Okay, whatever. I guess if you enjoy it, it's a hobby, but that doesn't mean you should be doing it. Okay, let's just move on to the next point. Okay. As I was saying, start small. Disappointing news. I'm full of disappointing news. I'm a big disappointment. Stick around for more. Anyways, you could think, okay, if you want to draw, instead of expecting to be like as good as all the people you're following online, immediately, why don't you just try drawing one thing a day? Hi Tenma! Welcome on in! Thank you for the super chat! How nice of you! I appreciate your support! Wait, let's see what you said. You said your hobby besides drawing, which Tenma is very good at drawing. That's an awesome hobby. You said sleeping with no noise. Oh, we can all appreciate that. And video games. We love video games too. I like video games. And you said it's giving me super chats. Aw, thanks. Let me give you a heart. I do appreciate that. Thank you, Tenma. Or if your hobby is hoarding clips of hoarding clips of people winking. I can't talk today. If it is, then I think that's a good hobby. Alright, so okay, so again, let's start small. If you want to learn Japanese, maybe start up your Anki deck of flashcards and say you're gonna learn like 5 to 10 kanji a day and, you know, 5 to 10 grammar points that day. Start small, okay? It doesn't have to be extreme. If you want an aquarium, because that's one thing I do know about, what I did was, well, I did kind of dive into it because I was used to keeping exotic species of pets, but I didn't start with a full aquarium. I didn't have like a whole ass aquarium, okay? You gotta start with like one thing at a time, okay? So I kept it simple. I started with axolotls. I only researched axolotls, and I didn't really have the fanciest tanks for them at the beginning, I admit. I'm sorry to admit that, but I didn't. I didn't have substrate. I didn't have live plants. I have live plants nowadays working on the substrate, but my tanks look a lot better now. And honestly, some of my tanks from earlier days, I'm embarrassed to post. Not because I was like abusive to them or anything, but because they just look like shit. They've got the plastic plants, I don't know, and which is perfectly valid to start with, but I think in the long run, if you want a nice tank, you want to have like the whole everything. But again, there's cheaper and more expensive versions of the same hobby, and there's no shame in starting small or, you know, a more entry-level type thing, or if that's just not for you, sticking with whatever is for you. That's totally valid. Let's see, oh, thanks for posting the Discord, Tuki. Hi, Rogue Gamer. Welcome on in, good to see you. What do you actually do off stream? Very good question, and I'm glad to have new people here. We're talking about hobbies today. Welcome on in, make yourself at home. I have a lot of hobbies, so a lot of what I do off stream, I used to breed axolotls. Nowadays I just keep them. I've got a lot of aquariums. I have the axolotls and a couple other nano tanks with some fish and shrimp I've been breeding. I also like to cosplay. I also like to collect dolls, and there's a lot you can do with that, like, you know, photography. It's really got me into photography because I love taking photos of all my dolls, coming up with stories for them, meeting people that way. Anyways, before I get too off topic, I also like trading card games, such as, you know, my Shores. I collect and build decks and, you know, playing with people with that. I have quite a lot of hobbies. I like guns. I used to draw a lot. I like to sing. Again, I was never good at any of these to start with, but it's just something you keep with until you are good. And again, even if you're not good at it, it's still a perfectly valid hobby, and as long as you enjoy it, that's what counts. But I'll tell you what, when I first started shooting, I was terrible. When I first started singing, I was terrible. When I first started playing card games, I was so slow that I was embarrassed to go to the card shop because I was asking the other person, wait, can I play this card? Wait, oh, do I draw now? And it was embarrassing, but thankfully everyone was very patient with me. But I've got too many hobbies. Basically, I've got too many hobbies, but we all start somewhere, and as long as it's something you enjoy, that's what matters. So, yes, I am very busy, yes. And obviously VTubing is a hobby and all that comes with that, and I like to plan projects and events for you guys, so, you know, streaming is also a fun hobby. I like video games, I like anime, all that kind of thing. Let's see, yeah, exactly. Like Steven said, people can start from anything. You start secondhand tanks from Facebook Marketplace, and that was something I was going to touch on, is how do you start small? Because a lot of people don't have someone to guide them into this new hobby. If you know someone, it's easy, but if you don't, you really just kind of left to research on yourself, which you should be researching by yourself, but when you don't know what you don't know, you don't even know what are you supposed to be typing in Google. You don't know where to begin, and there's a lot of misinformation out there, especially I found about aquariums. So let's start, that's a different topic I'll go into later. I have an order for this, but I'm gonna try to like kind of keep it coherent and clear so that people who go through the VOD can clearly see what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, cleaning for others, you enjoy it more than cleaning for yourself. I think that's an awesome hobby, and also it's a way to help people. You know, charity is a hobby, and it's a really good one because that's great. You like trading card games too? You don't actively collect them though since they're pricey. Yeah, when I got into Weiss, it was one of the more affordable ones. Now it's not, so all my cards are like, I don't really keep up with it anymore, which makes me sad. Like, you know, but again, anything can be accessible. There's just different ways to go about it. Let's get into it. Just ask ChatGPT. I mean, I don't want to get into that because sometimes it gives you the right answers, but sometimes it frankly doesn't. And like I said, there's a lot of misinformation out there. And so when it's pulling its answers from some random guy on Reddit, well, there's a reason they make the jokes about lying competition, but your opponent is a Redditor. There's a lot of good information out there, but sometimes it's hard to find. So, not saying to dismiss it all, but I would say the best thing to ask is your own experience. Or a trusted friend, because you know what? I've been helping my friend with building a PC. I've been helping my friend with her aquarium. And you know what? she has a lot of her own expertises that I ask her about. She's got her own thing that I know nothing about. So if I wanted to know about cooking or baking or sewing or all sorts of things, I will be the one asking her. But you can't be an expert on everything. And so thankfully I'm there to help her. And I'm not saying I'm an expert, but you know what? I guarantee if she had asked ChatGPT, it will give her all the wrong answers, because there's just so much misinformation, especially about axolotls. You know, when I first started keeping axolotls, I believed that information online because I didn't know. But I've been breeding them for 6 years now. Yeah, and I even ran a business selling them. I would go to expos and sell them, or meet other people and, you know, buy them, order them online, all sorts of stuff, raise them from an egg, order egg, breed them, anything. I'm not a biologist, but I think I have enough experience with axolotls that I can tell you how to keep them. And I'll tell you some of the silly things I've heard. 1. Give your axolotl a salt bath when they're sick. Absolutely do not. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea. Okay? Because they're not saltwater animals. I don't know why this is a common thing that people say online. Maybe there's like some specific case that it helps with, but in my experience, absolutely not. I'm not a vet, I'm not a biologist, but maybe there is some specific case. I'm going to tell you, most of the time people tell you to do that, to absolutely not do it. Another thing, axolotls don't like moving water. It's true, you don't want you don't want to put them like in some like high acceleration, like moved, like fast-paced water that's gonna like push them all around. But I find that they actually like to hang out around the bubbles. They have a little bubble filter, they have the little like bubble column. They love that, okay, because it helps with the oxygen in their in their gills. There's all sorts of stuff. They don't like this, they do like this. Honestly, it depends on the axolotl, but there's just all sorts of dumb shit online. People will say anything, and they have no experience with the thing, but they will act like they are an expert. I am not an expert on anything, and I'll always tell everybody to question everything and to not take your advice from a VTuber. Everything I say is my own opinion, and I think I do have some knowledge on some things, but you know what? Go find it out for yourself. Don't listen to anybody except your own self, what you think is true, okay? So I'm just a VTuber online, this is just my opinion. You're convinced AI overviews are the worst. Yeah, exactly. And then you'll be like, why is it wrong? And it's like, oh, you are absolutely right. I lied to you. Well, why did you say that then, stupid AI? I don't know. I'm not saying that there's never any case that it can be correct, but I think if you like a hobby or want to get into a hobby, then maybe you should be a little more self-motivated into actually researching it and putting in the work to research it. I don't know. That's just an idea I had. Yeah. Gardening and growing certain foods is an excellent hobby. I really like that. Thank you for sharing, Locke. I like that a lot. Part of the hobby is finding information about it. Exactly, like I just said. Thank you, Chukoko, because I'm glad we agree. Let's see. Oh, you were being sarcastic. I'm sorry, Dan, didn't realize. Okay. You're interested in Weiss, but never got around to it, like how they add anime series as cars. Yeah, it's so fun. It's my favorite. Weiss is fun because it's like a good mix of skill and luck. I just enjoy it. Did you ever lose an axolotl? Unfortunately, yes. I'm learning that keeping aquariums in general, you learn to accept death because it just happens when you're keeping this much animals for, you know, this much time. It's inevitable. It's very sad, but it happens, and, you know, it hurts, but I think, you know, everyone's lost a pet before, and it's not really something you get over, but it's something that happens, you know. Yeah, people lie on the internet. Anyways, let's move on to my next point. Okay, so let's say oh yeah, Riftbound, I've heard of that, but yeah, okay. Let's move on to my next point. So we've done, let me scroll up, we've talked about stop looking for the right hobby, go with what your heart says. Don't go with what you're good at, go with what you want to be good at or what you just have fun with. And just start small and maybe build up to more if that's something you really want to do. And to elaborate on that, a lot of people, like, VTubing is an expensive hobby, but it doesn't have to be. And again, I'll go into that a bit more later, but I think a lot of people will spend thousands on a model when they haven't even streamed. And then they drop it 2 months later because streaming is not for them. Well, there's ways to go about this that you didn't have to go about it like that. If you have that much to waste and you don't feel any remorse over it, then congrats for you, but most of us are not in a financial, you know, scenario where we can do that. So let's start with my next point, which is Just fucking do it. Okay, you might be like, well, May, you just told me to do the research. You know, I'm gonna spend 30 hours watching these tutorials. I've seen 10 documentaries, and I've read every guide there is on every forum online. And that's great. But your hobby doesn't have to be a research project. I would advise you that once you feel you have enough information to begin, to go for it, because experience is going to be the thing that teaches you best. Not what somebody says online, not even me. Experience is the best teacher, I think. With anything, really. Whether it's life skills or just, you know, like social skills. I don't know what the Shia LaBeouf pose is, sorry, so I can't do it. I don't know what that is. Anyways, of course, it's good to be educated on whatever it is, but at the end of the day, just go for it, I think. For a moment, I thought you were going to instruct the Just Do It meme pose. I would if I knew what that is. What is that? What is the pose? I should have done it. Yeah, just do it. Yeah. I like reading academic books, especially regarding history, philosophy, linguistics, religion, and literary studies. That's awesome. You're a very well-read person. See, I like people like that with the hobbies. You know, and you didn't let the barrier of entry stop you. You just went for it, and now you're into it, and now you know about it. That's what's admirable, okay? And the thing is, like I said earlier, anybody can do this, okay? If I can learn to sing, if I can learn to do whatever it is I'm doing with my aquariums in my life, anybody can. Don't let it overwhelm you, because look, we've got someone in chat who knows about all these subjects. They must be very self-motivated. That's the thing right there, is to be self-motivated. Anyways, that leads me to my next point, and it's to point 5. Like I said a bit earlier, nobody likes being bad at things. Your first drawing is gonna suck. Oh my god, my first cosplay? Awful. Your first song or recording or whatever you do with an instrument or singing, whatever, it's not gonna be great. Your first aquarium, it's gonna suck ass. And that's okay, because that's normal. And you know what? If you're one of those rare prodigies that you did it the first time and it turned out for you, well, I'm happy for you. That does happen. That does exist. Good for you. Can't say it's ever happened to me. But it's not about that. Again, it's about enjoying it and moving past that beginner phase. Because if you can push, I challenge all of you guys, whatever your hobby is, whether I'm giving you it or it's the one you've thought about, whatever it is, push past it for a month. And you will notice that you're much better at it than the first time you tried it, even just a month later. If you can stay consistent and do it at least a few times a week, for a few hours, just here and there, you're gonna look at your progress the first time and the last time, and it's gonna be really, I think it's gonna be surprising for you. But you know what? How's about, I'm gonna skip some of my points to kind of delve into this point a bit deeper. Because this is something you guys are asking about. I did have an order for it, but let's jump ahead a little bit and then we'll jump right back. Because something else I'd like to mention is your hobby doesn't need to produce something. You don't have to be productive. Okay, if you can't draw and you don't want to draw, you can't afford the supplies, something else I'll touch on, that's okay. Hobbies can simply just be experiences. As long as you like it, it's a hobby, okay? You could watch birds for free. Bird watching is free. For some reason, all of y'all over 30 love it. I don't know. Once you hit 30, people love birds. I've yet to have that happen to me, but I'm still an avid bird hater. But you know what? Bird watching is free. And walking is free, unless, I guess, if you don't walk, if you can't walk, then I'm sorry, that was very ableist of me. Skip that comment, skip that hobby, on to the next one. What about stargazing? That's perfectly free. Can learn about the constellations. I just saw like a few months ago a bunch of like shooting stars, made a bunch of wishes, and that wasn't even something I knew I could do or would enjoy, but I just went out and did it. I just drove out into the desert and I sat on my car and I looked up at the sky for a few hours and I saw a bunch of shooting stars, okay? Anybody can do it. Let's say you can't though. If you're on the internet right now and you're watching me, then you can Google anything, okay? Why don't you learn history? Why don't you learn mythology? Okay, not your thing? Well, listening to music. If you're listening to me right now, you can listen to music, and that's a hobby right there. Endless types of musical genres. And I can name a niche one for you right now. Some sort of band or genre. If you don't have one, I'll tell you to look up some Toho shoegaze. I'll tell you to look up some math pop alt idols in Japanese. Okay, there's endless stuff for you to explore that I guarantee you haven't heard yet. Anyways, plenty of stuff you could do. Reading, we don't have anyone here who's illiterate, do we? I don't know, maybe we do, but you could learn to read. You could study a language. I don't know. There's all sorts of hobbies that don't have to cost money, and I think that maybe the knowledge should come first before the spending of money, because what if you don't like it? Watch the pigeons fight in the car park. Does that count? Absolutely. I think that's amazing. Let's see. Oh, I like what Tenma said. Yes, you find nostalgia when looking back and enjoy how the process was to become your current you. That's great. What about blind people? You know how I feel about disabled people, so we're not even gonna start. No, okay, I'm just kidding. I'm disabled, so I have the past to be ableist. No, I'm just kidding, I don't. Okay, let's just move on. I'm digging myself a deeper hole. Is Wooper an axolotl? Absolutely, and that's why we love him. He's also a Pokemon, though. Hi, Flat Maze Flat. You came back. Hello, hello. Welcome on in. Alright, so this leads me to my next point. Okay, this is especially useful if you're broke, and that's okay, because knowledge is free. At least it should be. Maybe it's not in this day and age, but if you think aquariums are cool, well, what if you can't afford a tank right now? You can become the fish expert, okay? You can learn all about species, aquascaping, breeding, what kinds of equipment you would need, and then when you do have money, you are already ahead. Because knowledge is part of the hobby. Okay, and I think a lot of people forget that. If someone just hands you a fish tank full of fish and plants and it's thriving and they give you all of this equipment for free, it doesn't mean shit if you don't know how to take care of it, okay? They could have maintained this tank for 30 years or however long, I don't know. And if you don't have the knowledge to take care of it, then them giving this to you doesn't mean anything because it's going to fail. They're going to die. So please think that the knowledge has to come first. And again, something else that leads me to my next point is that not every hobby has to happen today. It could be a long-term goal. We just talked about setting short-term goals for yourself. What about a long-term goal? Maybe you want a sewing machine, or a telescope, or a nice camera. I don't know. That's gonna take months or years. My collections that I have, maybe you look at my room and see all my collections. Okay, you have to keep in mind, this took me years to collect everything. This took me years to get into. This took me years to figure out how to even find these things. Because it's not like you just go to Walmart and get all the things. And I think that some of the most rewarding hobbies are these ones that are a slow burn. You know, you slowly build it up over time. And you can't just look at someone and be like, oh, I want to instantly be like them. You're not going to be as good. You're not going to even know how to be as good until you work at it. So don't compare yourself to others because there's always someone else who's been there ahead, and, you know, just reach out and ask for their help rather than thinking that it's unachievable. Let's see, it reminds you of the people who have a lot of books that they don't read. You're one of them. Exactly. That's why I just have art books. No, I'm just kidding. I do read. I swear. I swear. Anyways. I don't know. One thing you might not appreciate hearing though is, yeah, don't compare your hobby journey to someone who's been doing it for 10 years. And that's not really a nice thing to hear, but it's the truth. Because you're seeing the end result, not the beginning. You know, a lot of these aquarium channels, they start small like you. Everyone starts somewhere, and you see their videos, they have thousands of dollars of equipment, they have several tanks or dozens of tanks. You know, cosplayers, you would hate to see my first cosplay. It was horrible. But a lot of cosplayers, they have years of experience, not just with sewing their cosplays or making their cosplays. They know all the right angles, they know all the photography tricks, they know the right lighting, they know what expression looks best for them, they know when to post, they know how to get the likes and the views. I don't know, I'm not a professional cosplayer. I like to cosplay for fun, but I would not say I'm successful at it because I don't know those things. But that's something you gotta work towards because, again, nobody's born knowing this, right? Hi Erica, good to see you. Welcome on in, welcome on in. Let's see, yeah, manga, that's another fun one. Manga is a good hobby. Yeah, I don't know, a lot of these collectors, they've been at it for a decade or more. So just don't start with what you don't have, start with what you can do. So let's go back to my main points, and then I'll talk about my own hobbies if anyone's interested. And again, like the thumbnail says, if anyone has, doesn't have an idea for a hobby, how about you ask me, I'll give you one, okay? Just like I gave everybody New Year's goals, happy to give you guys some random hobby. You don't have to stick with it. It's not really personalized, it's just the first thing that comes to my mind, but I'm happy to give you guys maybe a spark of inspiration. So, my next point about the hobbies. Let's see, Rogue Gamer says it's important to never compare yourself to others for anything, really. Exactly. It's like they say, comparison is the thief of joy. We're not just talking about hobbies here, we're talking about anything. Everyone's at a different point in their life, and you don't see all that came before it or behind it, or even after it. You don't see that. And that's the thing about social media especially. You only see what they want you to see. And it's gonna be the nice, pretty parts of it. So yeah, just everyone's somewhere different. Like, I don't know. I would say, for me personally, 5 years ago, I don't think I tried to be a bad person. I don't think I was ever ill-intentioned to anybody. But I think I was a bad friend. I don't think I realized it. I never tried to be. But I just kind of let people down. And I didn't even realize it until it was too late. But I would say in the past 5 years, I'm a completely different person because I sat there and I realized I've got to change or I'm going to lose everything that I haven't already lost. And I did a lot of working on myself. I went to therapy, I did all the treatments, I did all the meditation, I did the insight, I did everything, all the character development, and I made myself goals and I followed through with them and I just gradually got better. So if you look at me now, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but would you ever guess that I had such a struggle in the past? Probably not. I've got a pretty traumatic backstory. They could probably make an anime about me. Key anime specifically. But I don't know. Would you believe I could have done all that in a few years? I would like to say I did more progress than a lot of people do in a lifetime. Not that I'm so much better, but that most people don't bother to change. So, don't look at the end result, because everyone's gone through some shit to get where they are at. And again, if they haven't, then it's not rewarding. If you're just handed it, or it's just smoke and mirrors, then it's just bullshit. It's not rewarding, okay? So, just think about the journey. So this is a nice Mei. No, I never said I was nice. I'm still an asshole. And Mei can read English barely. Barely, just but a little chotodake, yeah. It's important to never... Oh, sorry, I already read that comment. Let's see. Write a book about it. The Mei lore needs to expand. I can't tell if the /s means serious or sarcastic. I don't know if the /s means serious or sarcastic. Oh my god. But, I probably could. Yeah, I probably could. I don't know if anyone would want to read it. I probably could. Or at least a visual novel, huh? Oh, it's sarcastic! Hey! You got my hopes up like you wanted to hear it! What the hell? It was sarcastic? What the hell? Okay. Let's move on to the next point. Okay. How's about... Again, you guys are gonna be like, but Mei, I'm broke. I got you, fam. How about this? My point number 6 is... borrow the hobby before buying the hobby, okay? And it's just a good piece of practical advice in general. Before you spend $5 on something, ask, can you borrow it? Can you rent it? Can a friend lend you it? Can you try a beginner version? Can you try a trial version? Is there a free version? Can you do it for free? What about video editing? That's a fun, useful hobby you could even turn into a job. There's plenty of free video editors out there. And there's plenty that you could pay millions for, I don't know. There's a lot of different versions of the same hobby, okay? I mean, same thing kind of with VTubing. Well, there's a lot of people here who like to stream, or who want to stream, and that's something I remember from previous streams. You guys have told me that. So I think that's pretty applicable here. Well, you might be like, well, Mei, how did you start streaming? Your model looks like it cost a lot of money. You've got a background you paid for. What happened with that? Well, when I first started out, let me tell you, I kind of touched on this on another stream. I had a really shitty third-party controller. Wasn't even an official controller. It was like some shitty, I don't even know, like some bull crap that barely worked, which wasn't even mine. In fact, a friend gave it to me. Lucky for that, but it was still shit. I didn't even have a webcam. I had to borrow a friend's GoPro, and I hooked it up with some weird mini HDMI configuration, tried to use it as a webcam. I was a facecam streamer, and it would loudly beep and randomly shut off, and people would leave my stream, or at the very least ask what the fuck was going on, because it hurt their ears, frankly, and I feel bad about it. I'm sure some of the older people from the old Twitch days will remember that. I'd had a lame GoPro I mounted somehow on my desk, and it beeped and shut off randomly. Do you remember that, Kinos? Good to see you, Kinos. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate your support. You said, rare moment of Mei being nice and motivational. I love my aquarium otaku Oshi. I love you guys too. It is kind of rare, but we need some positivity up in here, huh? We need some positivity up in here. So, maybe I will make it into a Google Ducky. Also, hi, Oliver Treegeyer. Welcome on in. Good to see you. I'm sorry I missed your message. We're just kind of rambling today. Good to see you. How have you been? Let's see. It's hard to see when it's you, but you can be impressive to someone else for getting into something that they're not into or haven't been into as long as you have. Exactly. Everybody starts somewhere. Everybody has their own thing. And if you don't have your own thing, it's never too late to start. Yeah. And you don't have to be too far into the journey. It's still worthwhile every moment. And sometimes those beginning moments are what's best. Let's see. Anyways, it might have been Mad Cats, I don't know. Yeah, Scuff makes it more genuine. But yeah, so when I first started streaming, I didn't have a webcam, and I didn't have a controller. I didn't really have a good PC, so there's a lot of games I couldn't play. I was lucky to have a PC at all though, so I'm not complaining. But when I started out, I mean, it's like the short video you might have seen. It was really humble beginnings. So you might say, okay, well, a VTuber model still costs money? I would say not necessarily, because there's a lot of free ways to make one. For example, I used a Vroid model for years. It was one I made myself with a free program on Steam called Vroid. They've got, you know, ways to make your own custom assets. You can draw your own textures on, you know, the model. You can, you know, model the hair. You can use the preset stuff. You can do any combination of the two. And I'm going to tell you about a really cool site called booth.pm. Plenty of free assets there. Textures, 3D models, and even pre-made models, all sorts of stuff. There's endless resources for anything digital you want to do. So, for me, I didn't start out with a fancy nice model. I didn't have a nice audio equipment. I didn't have an audio interface. I didn't have any of what I have nowadays. And again, thank you all for all of that, because you're the only reason I have nice things. But I didn't used to. In fact, like I said before, everything nice I had was stolen from me when I lived in the ghetto. So everything I have now, I built as an adult in recent years. It can happen to anyone. And we all start somewhere. We all start from nothing, and we all eventually build what we have. So, again, thanks to you guys. But don't feel like if you're in you know, not in this really well-off situation, you don't have to be wealthy to start these hobbies, okay? So I'm just using VTubing as an example. On booth.pm, as well as other websites, you can find all sorts of pre-made models, sometimes customized model, and they can be as little as like $15, $10, some of them are even free. And so if you want to stream and you want to be a VTuber, there you go. There's your model right there. That's perfectly achievable. Again, even if you don't have any money, some of them are free and you can customize or make your own. You can work up there, okay? Streaming on Twitch, that's free. But you might say, what about the equipment? That's okay. I understand. There's plenty of things like, I don't know, local classifieds, Facebook Marketplace, maybe a friend who can help you. I would say one resource that I really found is pawn shops. You might be like, okay, boomer, who goes to pawn shops? Well, I do. I found a very expensive audio interface for about $40 there, and I used that for years. You know, and another thing about pawn shops, you go in with cash, you say, oh, it's $50, sorry, I only got two 20s on me, 9 times out of 10 they'll give it to you for 40, okay? Whatever it is, you can haggle them down, you can bring in items to trade, to kind of bring down whatever it is you want to buy, and maybe they'll give you some credit. Pawn shops are a really good resource, you know, obviously like things like Facebook Marketplace, and there's all sorts of places you can rent or try things as well. And with a lot of software, There's free trials or free versions, so don't feel like it's too much at once. You know, I will say streaming is kind of overwhelming because it's not as simple as clicking start stream on OBS. But it's not unachievable either. You just gotta find, you know, again, one step at a time, figure out what your content's gonna be. And you don't have to have all the fancy overlays and music and artwork and everything. You can start small, just like I did, and look where I am today. I'm not the most popular streamer, but I've got a great community and I've got you guys, right? So thank you. Let's see, you call me a boomer anyway. Okay, maybe I am, I'm not actually a boomer though, come on. Is now a good time to steal it back? Steal what back? What are you trying to steal from me, huh? What are you gonna steal from me? I don't know. Please don't. Anyways, anything can be accessible. There's cheaper versions and more expensive versions of every hobby. Not everything has a free version. That's okay. It can be a long-term goal you work up to. Let's move on to my next point. My last point is I would advise you to join other people with this hobby, and this is coming from someone who's an antisocial introvert, and I hate normies and I hate NPCs. But you know what? I found a good crowd of people here with you guys. There's got to be a good crowd of people somewhere out there for me to play with my hobbies, right? Someone to join me, something to do. This is coming from someone who used to go to the card shop and hasn't been there in about 3 or 4 years. So I'm a bit hypocritical, but you know what? A lot of hobbies survive because of community. What are we thinking about Melty Blood or Hiso Tensoku? I love those fighting games. We've got a new Melty Blood coming out soon with my favorite Len, my main Len. Oh, I love her. I made a doll of her, commissioned the whole doll. I just love Len. And if it weren't for the Melty Blood community keeping the whole thing alive, would we have had a Tsukihime remake come out on Switch? Probably not. Would we have had this new Melty Blood game coming out? Probably not, but I'm super excited for it. You've got to remember the community keeps things alive. So if you feel alone and you're going to quit your hobby because you are alone and you don't have anyone to bounce ideas off of, that's okay. You have internet, you're watching me right now, you've got a Discord server. You may have a local group, or you may have a convention or expo. You've got to be able to find some friends or have some friends who's into this hobby. And you know what, even just sharing progress with them can help. And if you don't, make your friend get into the hobby. That's what I'm doing. If they're not into the hobby, force them. Get into it with them, okay? Of course willingly, but there's always someone who's open to it, and I think that's part of the joy, is sharing it with other people. So, you're not alone in this. You've got this Mei Miyuri community here, the Axopals. Join our Discord server. Hell, why not? We've got a creations cooking channel. Feel free, and this is for any type of creation. Type !Discord, and as antisocial as you are, there's still something. There's people who will listen to you there. There's people who will read your posts, and you don't have to post all that frequently, just as much as you want, and feel free to hop on in. Yeah, you can find new friends in the hobby too. You don't have to force everyone to go along with your ideas. You can find new hobbies. Also, hello. Tyler, welcome on in. Hi, happy Wednesday. Welcome on in. How's your week going? I'm sorry that I missed your comment. Hope you're doing okay. We're talking about how to get into hobbies, and I'm going to talk a bit about my hobbies in a minute here. But yes, I'm glad I'm stuck with you guys. Thank you, Cal. That was a very nice comment. Thank you. May, just like me, for real. We gotta drag other people down with us, huh? Let's see, I'm just kidding. But anyways, there's something out there for everyone. If you don't have a hobby, it's because you haven't found it yet, okay? And if you don't have a hobby, I think you have an idea of what it could be, because I know you guys aren't some soulless NPC, right? You're not those people who just work all day and say your only hobby is watching TV and Netflix. I know that. Because you're here watching Mei Miyuri. You're not a normie, and you listen to me ramble this far in, it's been an hour. I know that you have some sort of passion or curiosity that you can explore. Maybe it's something you tried before and dropped. Maybe it's something you've been thinking about, but just never tried. Or maybe you're already trying it. Keep at it. I'm gonna give you guys a challenge. Try at it at least 2 to 3 times a week. If you can, every day. Try it for a month and compare to back then when you first started, and keep going if you can. And if I have any hobbies that I can help you guys get into, I am open for any like sort of frequently asked questions. Oh, hi Nicholas! Welcome on in! Good to see you, good to see you. I'm not making fun of you, Nepgear, but anyways, I've got tons of hobbies, and I'd love to talk about them. And kind of like what I posted on Twitter and what I said earlier. I was thinking, what sets me apart from other VTubers? There's plenty of Soulsborne streamers. There's plenty of VTubers. There's plenty of people who sing. And are better at singing than I am, okay? And definitely better at Dark Souls than I am. So what sets me apart is my passions and my expertise on them, and that I want to share them with you guys. So from now on, gonna do more members only content. We're gonna have a figure unboxing stream and review from members at least once a month. We're gonna have a bi-weekly aquarium update with videos that'll be available for everybody. And we're gonna have a... if it's twice a month, I'll do one members, but at least once a month collections update. So, I'll show you guys my collections. I collect a lot of things. We've got keychains, dolls, figures, tapestries, patches, games, books, dolls, plushies, aquariums, if that counts. I don't know. All sorts of awesome stuff I would love to share with you guys. Art books, I'm sure there's more than that. Cards, trading card games, yes. I collect all sorts of things. Wouldn't you guys like to see it? I'll have to do some more hand cam things. So, I've got a lot of hand cam stuff to show you, except for my actual hands. But, we'll see. So I'm planning more members only content and more hobby centric content because I'm thinking you wouldn't know all the things I'm into if you just click a random Dark Souls game and see me, you know, suck at the same boss like 30 times, okay? So, but I've got a lot more to me than that. And I'm not the most interesting person in the world, but I'm still gonna try and do some sort of like special thing like that, like a frequently asked question. Sorry, I was rubbing my eye, so I probably spazzed out. Anyways, so if you like that kind of thing, more hobby-centric, hand cam, personal types of things, please give me a like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, join the Discord, or just join me for my next stream. It'll be fun, and that's kind of what my selling point for today is I'm trying to find my niche, I'm trying to explore that a bit further, and hopefully we all have fun with that. You want to see my gun collection? I guess I could, I don't know, I feel like it might put people off because, you know, some people don't like them, but you know what? I don't know, I grew up always doing like outdoorsy stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't political or controversial to me because it was just, we did outdoorsy stuff because I was always like kind of sickly. I got more sick as an adult though. Like, we were always like doing like zipline and camping and boating and outdoor stuff, and I was just kind of included in that. So I learned how to do that at a young age, and honestly I think it's just a good skill to have. It's just fun. Honestly, it's a good skill to have, and I feel so proud of myself when I go to the range and I do pretty decent. Honestly, I'm not like competition level, I'm not some pro. I think I'm better than average person though, and I honestly just think it's because the average person didn't put as much into it as me. I don't think I'm super like talented or anything, but the point is anyone can do anything, and it's fun. It's fun. And again, you know, don't let it put you off, because if that's something you're interested in, I know that, you know, probably the price point will put you off, but there's plenty of ranges you can rent stuff. Yeah, it's fun. We could even do like airsoft if you're in one of those countries you can't get real guns. I don't know. There's price point and all sorts of accessibility for everybody. You're just gonna have to come to the US though if you're in Europe or something. I don't know. Come join me. I'll take you to the range. Let's see. Shooting stream when I get enough hate comments, okay? I'm printing out every hate comment and I'm putting them on a poster board. I'm going to take it to the range and I'm going to shoot at it until it's obliterated, okay? So leave me some more hate comments because I've only got a few that I can paste on the poster board. I need like a whole collection so I can show you just how butthurt I am about it, okay? So leave the hate comments below on the stream when it's done. Let me know what you hate about me, what's my most annoying trait, and I'll put it on there. And if I get something uncreative and unoriginal, like, oh, you sound like Morty from Rick and Morty, or what else you guys told me? Somebody told me that my hand looks like a Southeast Asian man hand that they know. If I get a comment like that, that's going on the poster board, but it's also getting ignored and deleted, okay? Anyway, let's see. Come over to Uncle Cal's. That sounds like fun. Yeah, we'll have to do that. Archery stream. Oh god, that's one thing I can't do. I actually have tried archery because I had a friend who, she was really like fucking cool because she did like archery hunting, and I'm like, oh, teach me how to do archery. She gave me like the weakest bow and I couldn't even pull the string back, okay? It was like, I want to say like 10 pounds, or because like the one she would use was like 30 or 50. I don't know how much it has to be to kill an elk, but she gave me like the weakest one she had, like for kids. I literally, I couldn't do it. I was not strong enough. Because you have to be able to pull it back with one arm. So, you know what? Maybe that's one of those hobbies that's just not for me. I spent an hour trying to tell you guys to try new hobbies, but for me, archery is not one that I'm gonna do. Nope, I tried. And I failed. Also, I saw what you said, Real Gamer. Sorry I didn't respond till now. You said dolls always look cool, but until you get your own place, you don't want to be judged by your family. Totally valid. I would normally say, guys, just go for it. Who cares who's judging you? And I would say just go for it anyway, but you know what? I have understood now that there are delicate situations, especially with family and those close to you, that maybe it's not the best timing, so I won't push it, but I will say I hope it's something you'll explore someday, because that's something I will go on into in a future stream. I sure love my dolls, but they're definitely not easy to get into. When I first heard about dolls, I thought they were like all the kind of the creepy ones, and no offense to the people who like the creepy ones, but I thought they were kind of eerie, like Uncanny Valley, and I thought, are all BJDs this way? Ew, I don't like BJDs. And then I saw the cute Dolphy Dream ones, and I was like, ooh, I like that, what is that? But I didn't know what it was called, I didn't know how to get into it, I didn't know that there were custom artists, I had no idea, I had nothing about this, so it took me years to get into. But now, I'm an expert on it, so I would love to share that with you guys if that's something you are interested in. But yeah, sometimes you just need someone to help you, and I'm glad to be that person. Dan Larson, thanks for posting the Discord. Yeah. You would like to see fish videos? Absolutely something I would love to do. I'll do some fish videos. We've got some corridors and some axolotls and some medaka, all sorts of things. So I'll do like a frequently asked question. Maybe aquarium update video at least once or twice a month. That's the plan. May touching grass, yes. And trees, perhaps. And raccoons. No, not raccoons. No, but they're kind of cute. May hits the target every time. 2 to the chest, 1 in the head. Over and over and over. Trouble. I'm not so good. Well, it depends on what we're using. Honestly, I can't really use like rifles or like larger guns because I mostly stick with handguns, like pistols, because I'm weak as fuck, okay? I am small and I can barely lift a gallon of milk, okay? So that's my admission right there. Also, hello, Green Cobbler. I'm sorry I missed your comment. Welcome on in. You're finally here to watch live again. Thank you. Good to see you. You've been unusually busy, and every time you have time, the stream's long over. Well, you know what? I felt a bit bad for planning this stream a bit earlier because I know it was inconvenient for some, but I'm glad to hear that it worked out for you because I was hoping for some that it would be more convenient, and today it just worked out for me, so glad to have you. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing alright. It's been a bit. Yeah, I recognize your username, but it's been a bit. Hope you're alright. Glad to have you though, and thank you if you've been a VOD watcher. That means a lot to me too, just as I appreciate everyone's support, whether you're a VOD watcher, lurker, regular, or new here. Doesn't matter if you're here for a minute or the whole thing, I appreciate all of you. Archery stream would never though, sorry. End of stream hate comment. Yeah, we don't have an end of stream question today, so you guys have to leave an end of stream hate comment. Mei Miyuri can't aim. I wouldn't say that. Maybe for archery though. It definitely requires strength, yeah. Me, when I see my friend's 6-foot tall doll, look man, we're not talking about those types of dolls here. I think I know what's going on with that. I think I know what's going on with that type of doll. That's less of a hobby and more, but you know what? I'm not even, you know, do you mean like Kigurumi, or do you mean... Good for them though if they have a hobby. Yeah, that's awesome. Great. Also, hello, Sub-Zero, welcome on in. Hello, good to see you. How have you been? Oh, Big C, you made it! Big C, we were hoping you could make it because I know, with time zones. Hi, Big C, how you doing? How's the heat wave over there? You doing okay? You tried axe throwing once. I was worse at it than I was at darts. And that's saying something. Well, axe throwing sounds quite difficult. I think the darts probably would be easier, so don't beat yourself up about it. Hey, that's still a cool hobby. I've never done axe throwing. That's awesome. Let's see, did you get rid of your pea puffers and gouramis? No. I did lose the gouramis because that tank crashed, and I don't even know if I want to rebuild it. But I still have pea puffers. Yeah, I've got pea puffers. I didn't mention all the fish. I just mentioned some of them. I've still got pea puffers, plecos. I've still got corridors, something else. I don't know, all sorts of shit. So yeah, the gouramis I don't have anymore. I'm very torn up about that, but I really love those little guys too. But I guess, you know, shit happens. Let's see, I'd love to learn more about dolls if you ever make a video or stream on it. Absolutely, thank you for the idea. I absolutely will. Get some weights, Mei. You need to be strong for the water changes. Oh, bro, I'm surprised I'm able to do the water changes. I barely can. I'm like, I get like so like exhausted trying to do the 5-gallon bucket water changes. It's difficult. I can't fill it up all the way. But you're right. I gotta get some weights. I gotta work on it. How am I gonna change the water for the axolotls? It's a 50-gallon tank. Let's see. You found an $800 camera and tried landscaping photography. That's awesome! What camera are you using? My friends got really angry? Huh? What do they care? What? Your friends got really angry and yelled at you when you took it to your first Japan trip because they don't want to look like tourists? Dude, they're gonna look like tourists anyway. Okay, and let me tell you, as someone who's been to Japan 3 times, it doesn't even matter if you're fucking Japanese. No, not like that. I mean, if you are Japanese, I don't care if you're fucking them or not. The point is, it doesn't matter because they will tell that you're a foreigner anyways. What do you mean you don't want to look like a tourist? I say enjoy the trip and take as many photos as you like. What the hell? I'm surprised that they had a problem with it. Sorry to hear that. Because I hope you got some wonderful photos and I hope you had fun with it. I don't know why they would care. Because you know what? You're gonna look like a tourist anyway because you are a tourist. Was their Japanese like perfect? Because I bet it wasn't. Come on, that's so silly. Let's see, there's art to... Oh my goodness, I don't want to know. Hi Big C, let's see, not spending long on your computer because it's just pumping out more heat than there already is. Yeah, I've heard it's like really hot for the UK right now. I'm so sorry to hear that. You like this time to stream though? Good to know. I might do more afternoon streams today, it just worked out. If you cleaned your tank, you can use a hose from it. Huh? What do you mean? Oh, yeah, but the bathroom is like too far away. Like, okay, so like I suck the water out into the bucket and then I carry the bucket to the bathroom and I pour it out in the toilet because it's got fish shit. Where else am I supposed to pour it? My carpet? I guess I could get a really long hose and just draw it all the way there, but I mean, that'd be a really long hose. The bathroom's down the hallway. I don't know, I see what you're saying though. Am I misunderstanding actually what you're saying? I'm not quite understanding actually, maybe. Your love of fish gives you strength. Yes, it does! Like a mother lifting a car off her baby. Exactly, I love the fish. Yeah, we love axolotls too. Speaking of Medaka, what varieties do you keep right now? I have the Blue Miyuki, and I have another one which I forget what it's called, but it's like orange and white with some black spots. Oh, what is it called? I think it starts with a W. Why did I forget what it's called? I have those two. Yeah, just those two. Sorry, I do want more though. I meant to DM you about your Medaka. You missed the end of string question answers. We didn't do those today. Sorry, we didn't do the end of string question today because I wanted to get into my thing and I didn't know how long it would take, but I guess I'm already pretty much done. And now we're not done with stream yet, so I'm sorry. I guess I should have done that. Yeah, we didn't have an end of stream intro or question or anything. Enjoy your Japan trip and record videos. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever go again or if I do, when that will be, but exactly, you gotta enjoy and make some memories, right? You did that for your first time to Walt Disney World, transferred it all to DVD and ripped it to your computer. That's awesome! I hope you had a blast. Sounds like you did. That's awesome, Mr. Shoujo. Also, good to see you. Welcome on in. Tricolors / Sansoku. I think they're tricolors, yeah. But I have to look on the order history because I got them from eBay. I don't remember what they're called, sorry. Let's see, I saw you mention retro games in your video description. Which one in particular are you into? Well, I'll admit I'm not like a super retro game streamer, kind of like my friend Dianco. Dianco plays just retro games. But I like, some of my favorites was like, I don't know, my favorite Zelda is Majora's Mask. That's definitely my favorite. I did play that on stream, but it's been a while, so I probably will have to play it again. I like Paper Mario, that's a classic. Who doesn't like the first Paper Mario on Nintendo 64? Got a lot of you guys in here from those streams. God, does the 3DS count as retro? I think it does. I like... Oh, Disgaea counts as retro. I know we've got newer Disgaea games, but I am a big fan of Disgaea. Every single one of them except 6. We pretend 6 doesn't exist. But I mean, the first one came out, I believe it was 2003? That's retro at this point. Yeah, 3DS is definitely retro now, yeah. So anything like that, I do. I'm a big fan of Disgaea, and speaking of Disgaea, because I love all SRPGs, but speaking of Disgaea, I actually am working on a video essay for it, because I consider it one of my niche hyperfixations. Yes, I have autism, and Disgaea is one of the things I like. So I'm doing a video essay on it. I will say, the script is all done, the footage is all recorded, I just need to actually voice the script, which, oh my god, I spent over a dozen hours rewriting it. Because here's the thing, I bought all of these Disgaea books and I read them so that I could make sure I had all the up-to-date information. I read all the interviews, I read all the everything, so that I redid this paper so many times. It's like 9 to 10 pages long. It probably will be 12 pages had I not made the margins smaller. It's a long video essay. It's gonna go on for at least 40 to 45 minutes, and that's gonna be about the whole of Disgaea series. And it doesn't even cover everything. It's just kind of like a why you should play it, why I'm obsessed with it type thing. It's more like an intro. Anyways, there's gonna be a long video essay coming out about Disgaea soon. I'm still working on it. I ordered some like artwork for it, so I'm waiting for that commission to come back, and as soon as it does, early August, then I will put the video out probably around August 5th. So keep an eye out for the Disgaea video essay, yes! Also, hello! Michael Joe Jackson, hello, how are you? I'm doing good. We're just talking about hobbies, and one of my hobbies is Disgaea, so keep an eye out. I'm gonna do a video essay. It's almost done. Anyways, yeah, Paper Mario is awesome. Who doesn't love that? I love all RPG games, and that's a classic right there. You need to see me play 6 on stream. No, I don't like Disgaea 6. Oh my god, why would you do that to me? Of all the Disgaea games to play, why 6? Anyways, Mr. Shoujo says, love to see a VTuber play Atari 2600 games without first reading the instruction booklet. Can't say I've played any of those. I'm not quite that old. He said getting frustrated and then goes back to read it and trying again. Do you really need to read the instruction booklet? Is it that complicated? Oh, maybe I'll try it out. Mei out here giving herself homework. Dude, I'm serious. I wrote this and I rewrote it, and then I restructured it, and then I reworded it, and then I added more, and then I reorganized it. I literally spent I want to say close to 15 hours or more on this. Yes. He said, I'm new here, what do we do? That's a great question. This is a great stream to come on if you're new, and normally I say it's a horrible introduction, but to me, I think today's a great introduction. Welcome on in, good to see you. I do all sorts of things. Normally I would say I do just chatting or karaoke. I have got original songs on the way. I do cover songs. I do Soulsborne streams. I do retro streams. Well, but I was just saying earlier, anybody can do any of those things. What sets me apart, I think, is my niche interests, and I'm going to make that more of a focus on my content are these niche interests. You might say, well, what are they, May? Aquariums. I always have my aquarium cam on the stream. The only reason I don't today is because I'm using it for hand tracking, but I've got 3 aquariums now. I kind of downsized, I consolidated some. I raise and breed axolotls, shrimp and fish. I like to sing, I like cosplay, I like collections, I like dolls, I like trading card games, I like all sorts of niche, weird shit in games you've probably never heard of. And I'm going to focus, kind of laser focus in on these things because I think that's what sets me apart, is because I'm very passionate and I know a lot about these things. Which you wouldn't guess if you just learned about me like 5 minutes ago, so I'm trying to make that more of my content. So I'm gonna do some streams frequently asked questions, hand cams, more interest type things. If you guys have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them, but that's kind of what sets me apart, I think. 10 hours Disgaea rambling to sleep and study too. Great idea. I could absolutely do that. I could absolutely do that. Maybe if I made it more broad, like any SRPG, then I would have a bit more material, but that would be fun. Yeah, we do yap a lot though, that's one thing. Masochism, don't get me started on that because I did play the Drakengard and Nier games before they were popular. I don't know, is Drakengard even popular still? Or was it ever? I don't know. Nier became popular, but I'll tell you what, I was telling everybody to play the first Nier game years and years and years ago. Then Automata comes out, or Automata, however you say it, whatever the fuck. I liked all the Nier games, but nobody listened to me when I was trying to tell them the first one was great. They're like, ooh, it's jank. Ooh, the fishing sucks. I don't care. You guys get good. I love the Nier and Drakengard games, so yes, I am a masochist, but that's because that's more of an experience, and you know what? The Drakengard games are an experience unlike any other, and if I could go back and relive it for the first time again, I would, because you will hate yourself. Do you ever have an experience that like you hate it, and then by the end you're like, actually I loved it and I wish I could do it again? That's exactly what Drakengard is, yeah. Also, banging music. I love the OST. But yeah, that's what I'm about. Welcome on in. If you're new here, check me out. I'm on Spotify and YouTube Music, and I'm always streaming on YouTube. Try and stream at least 3 times a week. Looks great on paper, sounds terrible when read aloud. Let's revise the cringe out of it. Yeah, at first it was kind of like a big autism info dump, but I fixed it to be a bit more clear and concise and understandable. What is so bad about 6? Never really got into the series, but I wanted to give them a try. Honestly, it was just like the characters and the setting. They removed a lot of the mechanics that made it great, or changed it, and it just felt lackluster, like it just wasn't as filled out. And like, honestly, what sold me, or what made me not like it, was I just wasn't a fan of the characters and setting. It just felt really lacking. Also, not as big of a fan of the 3D models, but I can't even say that's why, because I enjoyed Disgaea 7, which had the 3D models. In fact, I enjoyed it quite a lot, but oh my god, Disgaea 6, it just sucked. Like, I don't even know how to say. Like, if you try it, you would see what I meant, but it's like, maybe on its own it would have been okay, but when you're comparing it to all the other Disgaea games that came before it, which were absolutely peak, then yeah, you don't want to compare 6 to it. It's absolute trash. Anyways, that's what we're about, rambling and very opinionated topics. I'm a very opinionated person. I'm not controversial though, and I'd like to think I'm mostly family friendly besides the swearing. But I'm opinionated though. But I always tell you, don't take your opinions from a VTuber. Not just me, but any VTuber. You should figure things out yourself. Let's see, some games make no sense until you read the booklet. Yeah, I don't know, I guess that's true, you know, like when I spent forever trying to put together a simple table. Yeah, maybe read the instruction booklet sometime. Ooh, you have the Canon EOS R10. I've heard that's a good brand. I don't know that specific camera, but I know Canon is a good brand. Also making an attempt to write a novel as a non-reader for fun. Oh, that is cool. What's the subject? Like, you don't have to give it all away, but like, what kind of novel is it? Horror? Romance? Give me the rundown. I've seen you do music, and I love music. Oh, thank you. That's awesome. You're an ex-musician trying to come back into the industry. Actually, very interesting that you say that, because we had another person in chat, Six Paths. I don't know if he's here right now, but Six Paths used to do music, and he told me that he stopped and that he started because he listened to my song, my cover of Lost Emotion, and he ended up making a really cool remix of it, and he does all sorts of remixes and stuff with music now. And I'm not going to even take credit for that, because he tries to give me credit, but bro, he is a very creative and talented person. But anyways, that's just funny you say that, because you're not the only one who's kind of gotten back into it. So I'd love to see that for you. That's awesome. What kind of music did you do? Like, what kind of instrument did you play? Were you a singer? Did you write? I don't know. I'm just interested. Tell me more. Getting used to the new stuff in music. Oh yeah, there's all sorts of new stuff coming out, but you gotta create your own thing that you like best, huh? Let's see, me too. I played the first one years before Automata came out too. Oh really? Yeah. Did you play the Xbox one with Papa Nier, or did you play the one with Brother Nier that was the Japanese version? You know, normally I don't like localized attempts where they change the game, but I actually really liked Papa Nier because it made a lot of sense just with the whole story. I liked him. He's pretty cool badass. Let's see. First camera ever. I found it in a family member's closet and they said it was broken so I can have it. That's awesome. Did you end up fixing it yourself? That's awesome. Glad to hear it. Your buddy loved Drakengard when they released. Oh yeah, I remember when Drakengard 3 came out. I was so excited. Gotta play it with the Japanese voices though. I'm a bit of an elitist. I love Drakengard. I have way too many hobbies and way too many things I like and way too many games I've played which I would love to give a replay. But there's just too much on my backlog right now. Yeah. Oh, it just didn't have a battery? That was all that was wrong with it? Oh, how silly. Well, didn't you score there, huh? Lucky you. Mei is a say-so streamer. That's what I want to believe anyways. Well, I avoid controversial topics. I avoid lewd topics. I don't really talk about adult things, so I'd like to think I'm pretty say-so. I'm a pretty innocent person. I'm pretty naive, but I do have my opinions, and I do cuss a lot, so I wouldn't let your kids watch me. Also, hello, Dreambird! Hi! Welcome on in! Just saw your comment. How have you been? How's your week going so far? You remember playing the first Sims game? You know, I never did play Sims! I know a lot of females like that game. I'm not saying, not making any assumption about your gender, but you would think that I would like it because apparently a lot of girls like it. I don't know. I never played it. It seems fun, but I never did. I don't know, it's just simulation, right? It's called Sims because it's simulation. I don't know, I guess anyone can enjoy it, but it's just funny because there's like the one games that you would expect people to play, and I don't play any of those. Like all the movies you expect me to watch, haven't seen. All the shows or all the games, haven't seen, haven't played. I just play my niche things. I only know niche things, and I don't know if that's a pro or a con. I don't know, but like, for example, I love SRPGs. I love RPGs, JRPGs in general. You'd think I'd have played Final Fantasy. Nope, the only Final Fantasy I played was the MMORPG. I didn't even play it that much, but it was fun. But anyway, you'd be like, well, what do you mean you like JRPGs? You haven't played like the most famous one out there. Well, I was too busy playing Luminous Arc and Stella Glow. Have you heard of those? Luminous Arc 2, Stella Glow? Bet you haven't played those. Without, those are some of my favorites. And they might even be dated. You know what? Maybe it's my nostalgia that makes me love it, but I just love the niche stuff. DRPGs. I love Dungeon Travelers too. Have you played or heard of that one? Probably not. But it's fun. I love it. I'll happily stream it if it wasn't so ecchi. Let's see, remember playing the first Sims game, had to read the thing that came in the CD case. Ooh, you wrote poppin' rock music? That's awesome! You love doing it. I hope you will get back to it. That's awesome. Glad to hear it. And like I was saying earlier, it's not about how often you do it, or how expensive it is, or how good you are at it. It's all about the passion. If you enjoy it, I'd love to see you pick it up again. Let's see. Harder to produce swing music. That's cool too, though. Yeah, you played the Xbox one with Papa Nier? Me too! Yeah, I prefer that version too. I really do, because like, you know, without giving away any spoilers, the dynamic between Yona and Papa Nier, it just makes more sense than her and her brother. I know Japanese are all about the incest. Trust me, I am too. My favorite visual novel is Yosuga no Sora. No shame in that, it's fictional, but I will say the father trying to save his daughter just has more of an impact than a brother does trying to save his sister. I'm sorry, it's like the end of the world. He lost his wife. He wants to save his daughter. That's all he has left. That's why I liked. Steven, why are you making that face at me? What'd I say or do wrong? Anyways, look, we're talking about fictional, okay? Bro, I was just kidding. Anyways, it was a fun game. Either version is fun. Either one. Female, quotation marks, yeah. You strike me more of a koikatsu player than Sims. Okay, fine. Fucking called out. Okay, I can't even hide it, can I? Okay. Okay. I say so. I've played some eroge, I've played a little bit of koikatsu. Leave me alone, we all have. Okay, shut the fuck up. You don't act like you've never played a bit of koikatsu, okay guys? You guys say you're weebs and you haven't played koikatsu. I know you got a custom character or two in there, okay? Shut up. Shut up, guys. Also, hi Nutsu, welcome on in. Good to see you. How you doing, Nutsu? Defend me, please. Nutsu, they're trying to defame me here. Oh my goodness, yeah, I'm a weeb. It's kind of interesting you didn't play Final Fantasy XIV. I know, I just didn't play a lot of things because I didn't grow up with the PlayStation. I was just telling my mom I want a PlayStation. Nobody bought me one. I don't know. Oh, Stella Glow? You played Stella Glow. Oh, you're fucking awesome. Somebody give this man a Mei coin. Mei coins don't have any value right now, but trust me, they'll go up someday. Somebody give Rogue Gamer a Mei coin. That way we'll trap him. He'll have to join the community. He'll have to stay. Stella Glow is awesome. I really love it. Yeah, you should play it again. I'd love to. No legal way to play Stella Glow. The game is too expensive? Oh, really? How much it go for nowadays? Is it? Because I had the limited... I got the limited edition when it released for like however much it cost back then. Okay, Boomer. I know you're gonna say it. Okay, Boomer. I got the limited edition release for Stella Glow because I knew I was gonna like it because it was the same people who made Luminous Arc. So I'm like, oh shit, I've got to get it. And it was their last game they made at that studio, so it was a great game to go out on though, I'll tell you that. We love Stella Glow. What do you mean, bro? What did I say wrong? Okay, sometimes I'm half silly, sometimes I'm half joking. You just gotta figure out when I'm serious or not, okay guys? Anyways. Something tells me Mei has some unsafe interest in likes in her media. I openly enjoy visual novels, okay? And it's not even for the sexual aspect, because okay, there's a difference between eroge and nukige, okay? Because if you're gonna goon to something, you'll play nukige. But eroge is just a story that happens to have ero in it. And honestly, I think it's highly hypocritical that these Westerners will watch live action movies with inappropriate sex scenes, and somehow that's okay, and somehow that's family friendly. Okay, so that's fine. But then when I play a game that has a sexy anime girl in it, which is literally just a drawing, oh, I'm a pervert now? No, shut the fuck up. I play it for the story, and it happens to have a little bit of lewd in it. And if that's not for you, nobody's making you play it, but you don't have to judge me. When you're watching these live action movies and shows, what about Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones has incest and rape in it. Okay, how come you guys all watch that, but I'm horrible for liking Yosuke no Sora? Get off my case, you guys. Hypocritical. I think it's better for it to be a fictional anime girl drawing than a real person acting it out. But I guess my opinion here is just it doesn't matter because it's anime? Come on, guys. Really? So with like real people, it's fine? You can bring your family to go see that in theaters, but when I play eroge, it's wrong? I'm an adult. Come on. Get off my case. Anyways, I think we can all agree on that, and if you can't, you're crazy, and I disagree with you. Anyways, let's see what you guys are saying. I'm a bit behind on chat. Genre for the novel is hard to say because my story idea changes every paragraph I write, so I'm stuck. Oh hey, you know, it can be multiple genres, but I hope you can continue working on that. Glad to hear if it's going okay. Glad if you're working on it. Let's see, you have a custom character? Anyone can make anything custom in Koikatsu. That's the fun about it. Yeah. Oh, Final Fantasy XIV's on PC. Which is the MMORPG? That's the only one I played. What's Koikatsu? Better if I don't tell you, man. Dustin, I'm surprised you don't know. Dustin, what do you mean you don't know what Koikatsu is? Why don't you Google it? Nutsa said, just got here, was in the train getting to work. Also, Mei, you can't fend off the accusations. I'm sorry, I guess I can't. I really can't. You can give me recommendations for niche games in eroge. Awesome, would love to. Why don't you join the Discord and shoot me a DM? I'd love to see what kind of things you're into. I mean, no pressure, but if you guys want to join the community, we do have a Minecraft server, but feel free to type !Discord. I'm not the best at replying to DMs, but if you shoot me a DM, I'll get back to you eventually, so why don't you tell me any of your recommendations? Maybe I'll play them. Let's see. Yeah, I do love niche things though. Yes, I really do, because that's what's fun, is discovering some things you maybe haven't heard of before. Oh, 14 is the MMORPG. Then I did play that one. Yeah, I just haven't played like the single player games. Like, I guess 7's really popular. Haven't played. I only played the MMO. That's the only one I played of Final Fantasy. Sorry. Sitting on a pile of treasure. Yep. Let's see. Always believe the music comes from the soul through God. I think you're right. Yeah, saying this out of your opinion, not to defame people who are not Christians. That's totally fine. We welcome all sorts of opinions here, as long as it's not hateful, as long as you're not forcing it on anybody else. I think that it's healthy to have people with different opinions, because what's the point of an echo chamber? What's the point of an echo chamber? No matter what it is, I have friends who disagree with me. I have friends I'll never bring up things with because I know they're gonna disagree and it's gonna start an argument, but you know what? I'll still hear them out. Who cares what they believe in, as long as they're cool people and we can kick back and have fun, you know, with a few drinks and karaoke? Do I care what their politics are? Frankly, no. I have, you know, because here's the thing. Here's the secret I'm gonna tell you. Nobody is ever gonna agree with anyone 100%. You could be the same religion, same politics, same whatever, but you're gonna find something you disagree on, and you can't let that be the deal breaker unless they're an asshole about it. If they're an asshole and they're shoving it down your throat, that's one thing, but you know what? Everyone's gonna disagree on something. And I'm not a big fan of normies, but you know what? If they can kick back and be chill with me, I will be chill with them. As long as we can have fun, that's what matters to me. Maybe I won't pursue a relationship with someone who's entirely different from me. Well, I ain't pursuing nothing with nobody, but point is, you can get along with anybody if they're willing to get along with me. And so that's the kind of community I want to make, is where different opinions are allowed, you know? Let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying. Stella Glow is $70 on Amazon, about the same on eBay unless you go use cartridge only. That is so expensive, but the sad thing is, that's how much a fucking game on Steam costs, like a digital release. Yeah. I can't believe it's $70, but at the same time I can, because that's how much they're releasing unfinished, bug-filled garbage these days. Not that every game is garbage, I appreciate anything that anyone put effort and passion into, but like $70 for a game, Jesus Christ! Anyways, let's continue scrolling down. Hello Ryder, welcome on in, good to see you Ryder, how have you been? Also, Deaton, hello, how's it going? Going pretty good, thank you. Oh, I saw your compliment, thank you. You love Edoge and Nukige. Based? Okay, cool. Based? You agree with my take on this? Asian media always gets stigmatized by the normies. That I don't get that. Everyone's like, oh, we love different cultures, but then when it comes to Japan, they like to shit all over them. And you can tell that they have it out for Japan by their so-called localizations and censorship. Don't even get me started. You guys are accepting of every culture but Japanese, apparently, because when you see an anime girl, oh no, no anime girls. Yeah, she must be, you know, fully clothed, God forbid she have a little bit of ecchi. It's like, oh my god guys, it's a drawing. Just let people enjoy whatever they like, and if you don't like it, here's the thing, I'm gonna show you guys something cool. If you don't like something, scroll past it, click the big red X at the top right corner, hit block, hit mute, or simply turn 360 and walk away. If there's something you don't like, nobody is making you engage with it. Also, hello Ryder, we're talking about hobbies right now, we're talking about all sorts of niche things, people giving me crap, and I'm trying to defend myself. That's about what happens usually, but good to see you Ryder. I'm sure you will agree about the crap about localization and censorship. We hate it here. Anyway, Tenma says, I'm no pervert to demonstrate it. I'll make a game where you can date a drawer or a curtain. Yeah, or Colonel Sanders, exactly. You can do anything in visual novels. That's what's fun about them. That's what's fun, is that you can do anything. Also, thank you for posting the Discord, Dan. Anybody who wants to join, feel free to join. Everybody's welcome. Yes, here we go. Wait, what do you mean? What? You can't answer me? Wait, sorry, did you say a question? Oh, I didn't mean to ignore you. I'm just a little bit behind on chat. Oh, you said how beautiful I am. Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, I'm so glamorous today. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore. I was just a bit behind. Normies are very hypocritical, yeah, but so can a lot of people be. Normies are not, I guess. You believe Mei should clean my room and fridge? Get out of here with your nonsense. I'm gonna have my maid do it. I'll get a maid to do it. Why do I have to do it, huh? Yeah, she hasn't made it to that point in the chat yet. Yeah, calm down, bro. Calm down. I haven't made it that much. I didn't mean to ignore. I got riled up, okay? Let's see. To foreigners, the price doubles. Oh, yeah. That's just crazy, you know, for a game? That's crazy. And nowadays, I hear that GTA 6 and all these newer releases they're doing, you don't even get a physical copy. You get a little download code. What if I don't have internet? Okay. What kind of world doesn't have internet? A lot of people, actually. A lot of people don't have internet. Or maybe they do, and then maybe the power went out, and then they don't. God, why can't we have a physical copy of a game we paid 70 heckin' dollaroos for? Tell me why I can't have a physical copy if I so desire. You know what? How about this? I've got a great idea. And you know what? I think Nintendo's actually going to do this. And I actually don't know if I like this idea or not. I actually don't know. But I know a lot of smaller studios are like, let's not do the physical release. It costs us money. It's extra money. Okay, you know what? There are people like me who are willing to pay a premium price for a, you know, what? Make the digital release 10 bucks less if you have to. I will still buy the physical if it's not obscenely priced. But if, like, I don't like that they're different costs, but I get that physical stuff does cost money. But like, oh my god, then just price it out and make it available. Why can't, like the biggest game that everyone's been excited for, GTA 6, is not even gonna have physical release? I can't even believe it. What kind of world do we live in? Anyways. At that point, you're better off modding your 3DS and getting it for free. You know what? Well, where'd your stream go? Wait, did it disappear? Huh? Did something happen with the stream? Seems to be fine on my end. I don't know, you might have to refresh the page, my friend. But yeah, hi FTW, welcome on in, good to see you. Sorry I didn't say hi yet, it's good to see you. How have you been? What's the freakiest Nukige, you know? Honestly, I don't really play a lot of those. Yeah, you think I have some weird fetish, don't you? No, I'm pretty say-so. I'm pretty vanilla. I don't have no weird fetishes, I swear. Anyways, it's not a Nukige, but the weirdest eroge I played was probably Monokashi or anything by Bug System. Now, the reason I got into it was because I'm a big fan of Ruby-sama. She's the artist for She's a VTuber. She did her own VTuber model art, but she did the art for these games by Bug System. What's the other one called? Monokashi's one of them. I was playing Monokashi. I really liked that one, and it wasn't because it's lesbian cannibalism that drew me in. And it wasn't even just because of the artwork and the lovely character designs. The thing that I love about eroge or any visual novel is that anything can happen. Because in an anime, you know, oh, they won't air this, it's on TV, surely it won't go this far. But in an eroge, in a visual novel, they can go as far as they want. And it's even like, usually like a pick your own adventure type thing. There's different routes. You can do whatever you want. Yes, you heard me, lesbian cannibalism, I don't even care. It's fucking interesting and cool because they really push the boundaries of what you expect. And that's why I love it. It's not that I just love that content, but I love that it surprises me. Every time I read a new visual novel, I'm like, oh, I didn't really expect that. Oh, unless I'm reading some shit that I did expect, but then I usually drop it. There's a lot of interesting stuff out there, and even if it's not for you, just the fact it exists is interesting, you know? That doesn't mean that's my fetish, it just means it's cool that it exists and that somebody wrote about it and that they made a whole world and characters for it. I find that interesting. Don't even get me started on garbage localizations. Don't even get me started, yeah. What about Fire Emblem? That's probably one of the worst ones out there, huh? You reminded the time you got Mischief Makers on Nintendo 64 Online for $30 once. Snatched it up before playing it because I figured the price would expand more than Donkey Kong in the future. Yeah, we're at the point where buying things new is going to be cheaper than buying things secondhand or later, which is crazy because usually if you buy things later, you'd expect the price to go down. But that's not the case anymore, as we've seen with PC parts. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Eat the bugs, eat the bugs, eat the bugs. Let's see, I'm doing okay, hoping to finally fucking swim in my own pool soon. You have a pool? That's awesome! Dude, swimming is really good exercise. That's awesome, yeah, and it's pretty hot out, so you definitely need the pool ASAP. Yeah, you need the pool. It's so hot out, right? You followed my advice on pushing the big red button on the top, right? Hey, I didn't mean... I said only if you don't like it. What are you trying to say, Dustin? You saying you don't like me? Why do you keep coming back then? Are you tsundere? I think Dustin's a bit tsundere. He acts like he don't like me, that's why he clicked the red X, but here he is, come crawling back. So either he's a masochist or he's tsundere. Yup. Switch is somewhat understandable because the cost of a cart with its own flash memory is significantly more expensive than pressing a Blu-ray. Yeah, so like I totally do get that. I'm not saying I like it, but I get it, and that's the reality we live in. Inflation is real, I accept that. Yes. Inflation is real. In fact, they even made like a rule about it, but they don't want you to know. You know, they're trying to censor it, so make sure you turn off safe search for this. If you type in Rule 34, it'll tell you all about this rule they made about inflation. It's the 34th rule that the government made. Type in Rule 34 inflation, you'll find all about it. Also, take care. Oh, sorry, my brother just slammed the door. Anyways, you said you're gonna go. You DM'd me? Oh, okay. You'll be back sometime? Okay, Jane, bye-bye. Catch you later. Bye-bye. Hope you have a nice rest of your week. And I will be playing... I will be streaming again on Friday, probably some Dark Souls too, so if you're around in the evening, guys, that'll be my next stream. What do you guys said? Lesbian what? That wasn't in your bingo card for today? Yeah, I'm sorry. May confirmed Guro enjoyer. I'm 50-50 on it. I wouldn't say it's like a fetish, but it doesn't put me off. It has its place, okay? It has its place in fiction, and must I clarify, in fiction. Oh my goodness. But I mean, I like Higurashi. What about Higurashi? Everybody thought that was cool back in the day. What about all the nasty scenes that had? The reason I like Higurashi is because it has the best story of friendship and the bond of friendship overcoming hardships that I've ever seen. Honestly, and Rika is cute. I love Higurashi no Kokoro ni, and that's simply because I like the bond of the characters and the friendship. And, you know, the Guro is kind of cool too. I don't know. Let's see, guys, we got to get on Monokashi. I agree. It doesn't have a translation yet, though. Sometimes the stories are just too good in visual novels. Yeah, you get me. Let's see, yeah, the Fire Emblem, yeah, it was so bad. And I know Fire Emblem's a fun game, but god. Yeah, Sai no Uta was one of my first visual novels. I sure love it. You know, it's so funny that people are like so put off by it because Gen Urobuchi was nicknamed the Uro Butcher because he wrote such vile and horrific things in the past, and then he went and made Madoka Magica, which of course that's dark in its own way. Didn't start off that way, but I just remember when like that was like his reputation, and then people are like, oh, Madoka Magica is problematic now or something. I'm like, oh my god, you guys loved it back in the day. I don't know, everything's problematic nowadays. Especially that Mei Miyuri, she's full of problems, she's always causing them. I love to cause problems. Let's see, Sayonara though, I really like that one, and it's not too long. Yeah, it's not too long, you can go through all the routes in a day, at least I can. I can read pretty quickly though, I read pretty quickly, and I think it's worth reading. Also, hello, long from California. We're just having some opinions. Lots of opinions today. Welcome on back. I'd say it's worth reading through the transcript if you're interested once the transcript is uploaded when the stream is over. But welcome back. Hope you're doing okay. Let's see. Search it before you delete the System32. No, don't delete System32 folder. I'm not even gonna joke about that. No, someone's gonna fall for it. Do not delete anything in the System32 folder. No, no, no. You joined Discord. Nice, nice. Well, welcome on in. You don't have to be super active, but I hope you'll feel welcome there, and I hope that when you want to be active that you will. And there's no pressure, but thank you for joining. Welcome on in. Let's see, how long does it take you to play those untranslated visual novels? Because I personally wouldn't sit through self-translating. I'll tell you what, it does take a long time. Like, eventually you'll learn that there's a lot of vocabulary that is used repetitively. So like, a lot of these visual novels, they do kind of repeat the same words or phrases. So once you learn those kanji, okay, you're smooth sailing, but it does take a bit, and it's a lot of work and effort, and honestly, I've been trying to learn for years. Now, I will say there are points that I dropped it, picked it up again, dropped it. There's a point I could understand the VTubers with their Japanese live streams without any sort of help. I could just listen and understand. I'm not at that point anymore, unfortunately. When I went to Japan, I really learned how much I don't know, and that's quite you know, it was quite disheartening, actually, to have studied all this time. But you know what? I acknowledge I didn't put as much effort or time into it as I really could have. And to answer your question, it does take quite a long time to get through these visual novels. It's rewarding, but it is kind of, drawn out. If you don't have a lot of patience, I would say maybe play English translations first. I think it's also smart to play the English translation and then the Japanese version of the same game, because even if it wasn't exactly a one-to-one translation, because it never is, at least you have a general idea of what happened, and then you can kind of like know what's going on and figure out the translation because you already read it before. That's a good idea, but it does take double the length of time, so do with that what you want. On the topic of Sai no Uta, I've seen so many people LARP it without reading it when it's one of the shortest visual novels ever. That's what I'm saying, you can sit down and finish it in a day. And I don't really understand those e-girls, those cute core girls who are like, oh, I'm gonna buy all the figgies of all this shit I haven't read or played or seen. Like, can you please not? Because I actually do like those things. And look, you're allowed to have figures and merch of things that you haven't seen or liked, but can you not pick the specific niche things that I like? Can you pick something a little more generic? Because it kind of hurts my fifis when all the things I want are sold out because somebody beat me to it, especially when they go and say, I don't even like this series, I won't support it, it's problematic. Well, you are supporting it, bitch! What do you mean you won't support it? You just bought all of the figures. I don't get that, so like you did. Okay, you're a hypocrite, I don't know. Let's see, Score, welcome on in, good to see you. You came in at a moment that I'm just bitching about things, but I was more positive earlier. I was being super motivational. You'll have to rewind, I swear I did. Good to see you though, Score. Good afternoon. How are you doing? How are the dolls? Good to see you. Green Cobbler says they're learning Japanese, but it's so hard when you have no classes here and you're a face-to-face learner. Can't do online classes. Yeah, I learned a lot when I was actually in Japan, but it's so embarrassing because then you realize, oh my god, I'm shit at this, and then you feel like if you're with friends or a way to translate, you kind of use that as a crutch when you really can't. I learned the most Japanese when I was surrounded by only Japanese people who didn't speak a lick of English. And that's when I learned the most, but that's also when I got the most burnt out. But when I went the first time and I had a friend translating for me, oh, I didn't learn very much, you know, because then I could say what I knew, and what I didn't know my friend helped me with, and that was kind of a crutch that I wish I didn't have. Let's see. You have a couple of Sai no Uta figures and you've never seen the source material? Wait, you have a couple? Which ones do you have? Don't tell me you have the 1/7 scale, bro. Dan, do you have the 1/7 scale? Because if so, I'm gonna heckin' drive over to your place and steal it right now. That's okay. So I have sold a lot of figures and I've bought a lot of figures, and a lot of them I'll sell and I won't think about again. Like, yeah, I'll be like, oh, I wish I didn't have to sell it, but it's not the end of the world. One of the ones I really like, my biggest figure selling regret that I ever had was I sold that Saya no Uta. I think it was the 1/7 or 1/6 scale, the first one that came out. Yeah, that's like my holy grail. Why did I get rid of her? No, I don't have your holy grail. Okay, thank God. I wasn't really gonna take it from you, Dan. I wasn't really gonna take it from you, but yeah, she goes for like $700 or more nowadays. I'm like, bro, even if I had $700 extra, I would not be spending that on her. I'm sorry, I love her, but not that much. Anyways, I really regret selling her. That one hurt. That one hurt, but I had to do it at the time. But yeah, to go back to what Green Cobbler said, it is kind of hard because it's, you know, if you're not there to immerse, or you have someone who speaks it, it is very difficult. I would say something that helped me was the Pimsleur things, and just saying anything is free if you know where to look for it. But the Pimsleur classes really helped me because they kind of have you repeat back and help you learn like conversational skills by like actually voicing it out. I really liked those. My Japanese friend recommended that, so if you don't like it, blame him, not me. But there's definitely resources. It just gets more difficult depending on your learning style, right? Let's see, VR chat learning by listening. That's true. There's plenty of VR chat worlds where you can do that, but I'm so shy. Like the one time I joined a VR chat public world by accident, I didn't realize, and then like suddenly someone started talking to me. I didn't realize I was in a public world. I like had like a panic attack, and I closed out of there like instantly because I was like so shy. And you wouldn't think it because I'm here yapping to you guys, but like in situations like that, especially if it's like with someone with a different language, ooh, that's a hard situation to put yourself in. So I don't blame you if you can't do it. But Erica, you do that, don't you? I know you're big in VR chat, aren't you? I'm pretty sure you like VR chat stuff. Let's see, search for good old Minna no Nihongo. You can create a soap opera with Sato-san as units gone. One that I really like is Cure Dolly. The Cure Dolly videos, she speaks a little bit slowly, so I do put them like on like 1.5 speed, sometimes 2 times speed, or just read the transcript. But the Cure Dolly videos, she was great. She was great. Yeah, I really like how she explains things, because she kind of approaches things differently. Because I never really understood the difference between wa and ga. They say, well, it's the difference between a subject and a topic. Well, what the fuck does that mean? I can barely speak English. What's a subject and a topic? Aren't they the same damn thing? Well, it's not. But she helped me really understand the difference between wa and ga, which sounds like a simple thing, and really is. And it's something you really should be learning at the beginning of your journey in Japanese. But like, everybody else describes Japanese with English, you know, grammar words, and it doesn't make sense. You can't describe another language with English, really, because it's not English. So for me, the way she explains it, she explains Japanese as Japanese, so I really liked Kira Dolly. I would say look her up. Yeah, she's a very good teacher, and she knows how to, she doesn't just know her shit, she knows how to explain her shit well. So she helped me a lot. But honestly, just listening and looking up things I didn't know repeatedly is what helped me the most with learning. Let's see, no. Oh, you meant, Sora no Uta. Oh yeah, I don't know Sora no Uta. I only know Saya no Uta. Okay, yeah, I got confused because there's not very many Saya no Uta figures, so I was a little confused what you meant by you said you had a couple. You're not an idiot though, it's easy to get mixed up. No worries, Dan, no worries. Also, hello, sleepy boy. Welcome home, welcome home. Home is where your hobbies live. That's awesome, glad to hear it. Tell us about your hobbies. You don't sell your hobbies stuff anymore since you regretted it. Yeah, that's a lesson I had to learn. It's a hard lesson to learn, but it's so true. Especially games, you don't want to sell those. Yeah, those skyrocket in price, just like you said. Something I will definitely agree with you on, May. I find it to be extremely stupid to censor the M-rated title. I agree, because here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. If it's an M-rated title, why are we censoring it? Because only adults should be playing it anyway, so why are we censoring it if it's already M-rated? Are we trying to make it for kids? Because that's a little weird. If it's M-rated, let it be M-rated. Oh, but we're not making it for kids. Okay, then why are we censoring it? You're creating some sort of loop that doesn't make sense. If it's an adult consuming a content and it's uncensored or it's whatever, or it's problematic or it's lewd, you know what? If they're an adult, let them decide if they want to partake of that content, and let them have it, because it's fiction. It's fiction. And who are you censoring this for? Why are we aiming it at kids? It's not aimed at kids, so what's the point of censoring it? I don't understand. If you, I simply do not get it. Because who, for example, the blue reflection thing really pisses me off, that they're censoring that, because what kids are playing this? It's specifically weeb otaku like us, who like ecchi and are used to fan service. Why would they censor it for us? Huh? All you're doing is pissing us off. Literally nobody was happy about the censorship. We were only pissed off because anime is full of fan service. JRPG is full of fan service. It almost defines the genre. And there's nothing wrong with that. And even if it's not your thing, you can just accept it and ignore it. But it's like, if it's there, I just feel like if a creator intended for something to be there, let the creator decide. If the creator puts something there, you as a third party, I don't care if you're hired as a localizer, you're still a third party. You don't go in and decide that you can change how a creator portrayed something. You are there to accurately portray it in another language as close as you can. And yes, some localizations do have to happen, because you can't translate everything perfectly, because, you know, languages are different. I get that. But when it comes to just like censorship or changing things, who are you to do so? Who made you the authority that you can go in and take someone's original work and change it to fit your agenda and your politics and your idea of what it should be? Go make your own game. Go make your own thing if you want it to be a certain way. Don't change somebody else's thing. All you're doing is pissing somebody off. And I could go on about this forever. I really could. And it's nothing you guys haven't heard before. And it's nothing you guys probably don't already have an opinion on. So, again, don't take your opinion from me. I just don't understand it, okay? It doesn't make any sense. Like, if it's not aimed at kids, why are we censoring it? Let adults decide what they do with their time and money. Let's see, did it freeze for you guys too? I don't think there's a freeze. I don't know. I was rambling about nothing though. Also, welcome back, Cal. Good to have you. Good to have you. Sorry, I didn't notice that the stream had froze. Sorry, I hope it's back now. Yeah, I don't know why they would do that, huh? My friend helped translate, but I could tell he was sick of it. Honestly, I had more fun alone than with my friends. Yeah, I guess maybe you're more of an introvert like me. I like my alone time. I mean, friends are good, but honestly, I don't really like how they treated you about the camera, if I'm being honest. Let's see. Know what you mean by learning by talking with Japanese people. I had fun with one since we're just doing gestures at each other. Yeah, that's the best way to learn. And for me, I had so much fun because I would just like make friends with random Japanese people. I'm not even a social person. I'm very shy. But when I was like at this like doll cafe, I was like, oh, your doll is so cute. And I ended up becoming friends with this guy. And we ended up like, he was like my tour guide for my next trip. And who knew? Because we bonded over, hey, we're both going to this event because we both like these cute dolls, and he was there and we talked about the dolls and we had each other on Twitter, and it wasn't like anything romantic, but it was like, okay, cool, I made a friend. He wasn't the only one I made. We had to happen to talk to some guy at this like late night bar, izakaya place, and he's like, oh, why don't you come to my sushi shop that's open? Made friend with a female friend that he introduced me to, like all sorts of... I think if you're willing to show that you put in the effort and you're interested in their culture and language and you're trying, then they're pretty open people. I mean, they're not like Americans who will just start up a conversation with you, but they're not unfriendly. Like, maybe I have the advantage of, I apparently seem approachable, and I don't know though, I'm pretty shy and autistic, so I think that most people in general are nice if you approach them with a nice attitude, I guess. I don't know. For discussions like this, I remember Bender saying, I will make my own X with blackjack and hookers. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Yeah, Fire Emblem Bond dialogue is just a bunch of periods, ellipses, yeah. Well, Blue Reflection is altered in the Japanese release too, isn't it? Honestly, I had no idea. I didn't think it was. They modernized it everywhere for worldwide appeal? I didn't know that. Actually, okay, I guess I'm really dumb because I thought that they only did that in the Western releases. Okay, well... The point is I still don't like it, okay? The point is I still don't like it. And you could say, well, the original owner okayed it. Or, sorry, not the original creator okayed it, okay? They changed it. That makes it slightly better, but it's still like, I just want to partake whatever the original idea was. I just want it unaltered, unedited, raw, whatever the idea was, I want it. okay? And even if it's a small bit of like censorship, like all they really did was change their clothing. Does that change the story for me? Well, no, but it's the principle of the matter is that why did they even bother? That's what bothers me. That's what bothers me. It's not the women wearing, I mean, it's fictional women. If I wanted like an arrow game, I would start up like a porn game, okay? But I'm not. It's just a RPG. So it's not that the girls are dressed or undressed that bothers me. It's the fact that they altered it, that they felt the need to change what it was originally. That's what bothers me. Anyways, still gonna play it. So I guess I'm a bit of a hypocrite, huh? I just gotta play Blue Reflection. We don't have enough magical girl games out there, and I love anything made by Gust. The same people who made the Atelier series. Tulu Flulu, you made it! Hi Tulu! Hi Tulu! You made it! So glad to see you! Welcome on in! Yeah, we started a bit earlier today, and I'll tell you why. It's because there's some Star Rail collab going on at the sushi place, so I gotta go get my Hanabi Star Rail merch. And I know that's like the dumbest reason ever, but listen, they're only doing it today, and the only time I could go was this evening, so that's why I scheduled. Yep, that's the real reason. You think something important came up? Absolutely it did. Star Rail thing tonight. I can only go tonight. It's just today. So I have to reschedule a stream. I'm so sorry, but I'm glad if people still showed up in the afternoon because I might, you know, I was thinking about it. I want to do my regular stream time, which for those who don't know, it's 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'm going to stick with that as my regular stream time, but I want to do additional streams at around this time, probably around weekdays, and I hope it doesn't split the audience. I don't really want to cause a divide. I love my community, I love you guys, but I know for some people it might be more convenient, and sometimes for me it's more convenient, so it's like, why not? More the better, right? So I think I'll try and do some more afternoon streams. If it's like something big, like something I've been planning that I want, you know, I'll stick to my usual time, but if it's something like just chatting or, you know, something still fun, I think I will do afternoon one. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hold on, I got a message. Let me just make sure it's nothing important. Oh, I'll check it later. Let's see. You had a lot of contact with them just messing with the claw machines? Oh, I got a trick for you about the claw machines. Let me tell you about the claw machines. And I've told this before on stream. Sorry, I have something on my face. The claw machines, let me tell you. You want to go back alone, but it's a scary thought for me and got lost very easily. Any advice for planning a week-long solo trip? Yeah, I'll help you with that in a second. Yeah, I can always do a part 2. Thank you, that's true. Oh, Tulaflula, we actually didn't read the end of string questions today because I thought not everyone would be able to make it. And I wanted enough time to go over what I wanted to go over. So we didn't read the end of string questions. I'm so sorry because I know you left a thoughtful answer. And so I don't mean to just like ignore it. But I wasn't gonna read the end of string questions. We weren't gonna do one today. We're gonna continue with them. We're gonna read last time's next time on Friday, okay? Does that work at the usual time? Yeah, for those who are new here, I always do an end of string question, but we didn't do it today. We read them at the beginning of the stream. We didn't do it today. Anyways, I've got a thing for you, and this will work at any arcade that's, you know, a Japanese chain. So if you've got a round one, if you're in the US and you've got a round one near you, it'll work there. Let me tell you about the claw machines. There's an extra little trick to it. You push the, and they told me not to tell anyone this, but I'm gonna tell the people because I think they need to know. I don't know why they told me not to tell you guys. You push the button down on the claw machine. Let's see if I can do this with my hand. You push the button down on the claw machine. The claw goes down. Oh, why is it not tracking? Anyways, as it's about to go down, say the claw is just like bending like this around the object, but it's in the right placement but it hasn't grabbed yet, hit the button again. Double tap it, not immediately, but when it's like about to grab, hit the button again. It'll grab it instantly, but this time it'll be stronger than it would have if you hadn't pushed it at all, if you just waited for it. And that's the only way I've been able to get hundreds of plushies. Well, maybe not hundreds, but at least like 80 to 100. Yes, I have a plushie problem, I'm trying to get rid of them. But I've won a lot of things in the claw machines, and that's the only way how. There are other tricks to it, but that's one big trick that you have to know if you want to be able to do it. And it does work, it's real. It'll work in Japan, I've tried it in Japan. It'll work at round 1 in the US, it'll work at anything like that. We won all sorts of stuff. I won all sorts of stuff, that's the trick. So keep that in mind. Also, hi Jojo, welcome on in. Jojo, it's been a bit, how have you been? Fill me in on the 411. What's new with you? Leaking the secrets of the claw machine. The people should know. Yeah. I am streaming early today. I'm glad you could pop in and say hello. I hope you've been well. It's been a bit. Anyways, the first time I went to Japan, I was there for about a month. And I went with a friend, and I was meeting up with other friends, like, because it was like a big meetup. We had like my Japanese friend, my Finnish friend, my Belgian friend, my other friend from the US. I feel like there was someone else too. Now I feel like an asshole for not remembering. I think that was everyone actually. And you know, like his wife, the Japanese guy. Anyways, we had a big meetup, so I was never really alone. And for my second trip, I went 3 times. Each time I went for a month. Actually, one time I think I went for 4 weeks. So I've been there about like 3.5 months total, I'd say. But the second time I went alone. And I did meet up with some friends while I was there. But I spent most of the time alone because for me it was kind of like a spiritual thing. Like, I want to experience things alone. I've never really been here alone in a foreign country. It was my first time leaving the country. Was the first time I went to Japan. Japan's the only other country I've been to. And so I really wanted to go alone. And I planned it all myself. So what would I say for planning it? I mean, here's the thing though. I don't really know exactly what your interests are, but I already had my Twitter feed like kind of curated, and it told me all these Japanese events that I wanted to go to. So there was like concerts, there was Idol, the big event that has like all the dolls I like, there was like all this stuff happening that I already knew about. So I had my schedule and locations already picked, and I was like, oh, I want to go to like the Miffy theme park. Absolutely depressing in the winter, by the way. I went there, so I had it all planned out. And then I used like booking.com, and I used Google Flights. I also, there's a site called going.com, which will send you alerts for locations you pick on when the flights are super cheap. I think there's like a subscription to it, but there's a free tier. Basically, they email you whenever there's a super cheap flight. You don't really get to pick the dates. It'll tell you what the date, like this range is. But if that range works for you, then just sign up for that site. It'll help you. I just hate how much spam email they spend, but it'll help you. But yeah, I just found the events I wanted to go to, and I kind of made like an itinerary, things I had to do, and you know, stores I wanted to go to, things I had to do, and appointments because I got like my hair and nails done because that's fun. And then I just kind of pieced it together. I made a spreadsheet on Google Spreadsheets, and then I just was like, logically I'm gonna need a day of relaxation between this and that. When can I do this realistically? And I pieced it all together. You're gonna want more money than you think you'll need. But that was about it. Yeah, that was about it. If you survive off konbini meals like I did, you can do it more affordably than you'd probably think. It's still going to be expensive, but konbini is pretty cheap. I mean, the yen is weak right now. Take advantage of that. Let's see what you're saying though. Sorry, I kind of just rambled there. You said you blew like 300 on claw machines. That's where all my souvenirs came from. Yeah, I gotta be careful because they're addicting, huh? But they're fun. They're fun. If you have money for it and that's what you want to do with it, then what can I say? They're a bit rigged though. Is this the one where you almost died? That's literally every single time. Yeah, that's literally every single time. So the first time I went... No, the first time I went, I didn't get sick. Well, I got sick. I got like some weird eye and ear infection, but it mostly went away. The first time I went, I didn't get sick. I just had really bad like bruises all over my legs. Because when you walk that much, and I'm a NEET and I'm disabled, so I'm not really very active because I have a lot of autoimmune and heart problems. So what I did, I really pushed myself because I wanted to see everything. I walked a lot every day. So I had like these like bruises all the way up both my legs. And they were like bad, and I had to like wear long socks because people were like, did you get beat up? And I was like, no, I just been walking and it created bruises. But that was about it. The first time was fine. The second time I got pretty sick. I got like my friend, he got sick too, and he said he went to the hospital even, and he was sick months later. Like he's still recovering, I shit you not. And he said it was influenza B or something, and I'm like, bro, that ain't influenza B. No, that's not influenza, my friend. This is like some evil shit that I never heard of, because I missed like the big Evangelion 30th anniversary event that was like the main reason I went. I mainly went for the Evangelion thing because I'm such a big fan. Totally missed it. I was in bed, suffering, miserable. I couldn't even go to the store to get medication or food. My friend Tippy, he's a real one. He brought me all the, you know, Pocari Sweat. Pocari Sweat's gonna be your friend. Pocari Sweat is so good. Anyways, it's got all the electrolytes what plants need. Anyways, he got me like medication and food because I couldn't go anywhere. I was stuck in bed. And I was sick for weeks and weeks and weeks afterwards. In fact, they said I got bronchitis and like some sort of respiratory infection from it. It was bad, and that's why I couldn't record all the music I wanted to do. I was planning the original song for so long ago. Still never happened. Well, it is happening now, but it didn't happen for so long because I kept getting sick. But then the time I almost died, the real time Japan tried to take me out, was last time. That was in April. Oh my god, I literally almost died. I had to call the ambulance. I went to the hospital in Japan. I paid 700 heckin' dollaroos. And you know what the doctor told me? He told me if I hadn't come in, that if I'd come in any later, I might not actually be sitting there right then, because I probably would have died. That was what really got me was, and then I couldn't even go home immediately because I couldn't arrange my flight for some reason. It wouldn't let me book it earlier, and I didn't have money to just make a new flight. So I just suffered for that last week. I was in bed. They told me not to eat or drink or even take medicine for days, so I didn't. For 7 days, I did end up drinking a little bit of liquids later, but I didn't eat for 7 days or take medicine for 7 days, and I was like passing out on the airplane home. Oh my god, like I was so exhausted and tired I could barely function, and you can't really sleep on an airplane very well, so that was the time that almost killed me, because when I got home, I went to the hospital and they're like, yeah, you need some emergency surgery like right now. And I'm like, can it wait? And they're like, no, like you're gonna die if you don't. And so they did, and then they had like tubes coming out of me, and I had to empty the blood and pus from the little container like every hour or two. God, that was awful. And that was only like in May. That was last month. Yeah, I got that surgery like at the very beginning of May, and I'm doing okay now. But God, Japan has it out for me. I fucking love Japan, but Japan hates me. Japan, all the people are so nice to me. I love their culture, their music, their media, everything about the country. I love it. I respect their rules. I respect what they've got going over there because it's theirs, not mine. But oh my god, they got some weird illness trying to kill me every fucking time I go there. There's some weird sickness, I swear. Anyways, enough rambling. The Japan curse is definitely real, and definitely get some travel insurance. Don't do what I did. Definitely get the travel insurance, because oh my god, if you're paying it all out of pocket like I did, oh god, that hurt. I didn't have $700 to spare. I had to use my dad's credit card, and he wasn't happy, but it was an emergency, and I paid him back. But anyways, yeah, that was a big thing. She's not sick, she's just allergic to touching grass is all. It sometimes feels like it, bro, when every time I leave I get sick. It sometimes feels like it. She's like that guy with glass bones and paper skin from SpongeBob, except she's not lying. Yeah, you know, people say that all the time about me as a joke, but it's so true. Jojo, I'm glad you enjoyed your trip. I'm sorry you got a bit sick, but I'm glad if you're better now. Let's see, your phone bricked. Oh no, you had no GPS or translator, which meant all the plans and places I wanted to go on. Okay, oh my god, I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay, definitely, what I would recommend as far as, like, phones go, okay, the first time I did it, I got an eSIM, but it didn't let me get it immediately. I got there, I went to the counter, and they said, here's your eSIM. Oh, by the way, it takes 24 hours for us to actually activate it. So I was without anything for 24 hours. Thankfully, my friends, theirs worked. But when I went the second time, I got this thing called Saily. It's just like, if you can get eSIMs, it's just an app you download, and then it automatically activates when you get to Japan. So it's pretty smooth. I mean, there's a little bit of like, if the Wi-Fi is not really working, there's a little bit of like activation, I guess, time. But for me, it worked pretty smoothly. It's called Saily, and you can find all sorts of like influencers who have coupons online. You just use their code, it's pretty cheap. I'm not one of them, I'm not getting paid for this, I'm just saying what I used. Yeah, spirits are out to get me, I swear. On Gamer, they are! I've been trying to implement the standing desk lifestyle, so half the time I just pace around my room. That's not actually a bad thing, though. Perhaps you can try that to make up for your lack of physical activities. That's actually not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea at all, my friend. Perhaps I should try it. Yeah. Oh, one other thing I would say, if you're going to Japan, especially for the first time, get some good shoes. I don't care if you have some shoes you think are already good, get some better ones. If they're not brand new that you just bought, really nice ones, then you need to get brand new, really nice ones now. Because you're not going to want to spend the money. You're going to say, what do you mean? I don't want to spend my money now. I want to spend it in Japan. Trust me, get some nice shoes. Like, they saved me, and I still had bruises all over my legs. But, oh my god, Crocs are not okay. No, that's not okay. That's not gonna cut it, my friend. That's not gonna cut it. Can't for some reason help but think this is Logan Paul's fault somehow. Probably. Did you eat any raw egg? No, but I ate some crazy stuff because I didn't want to be impolite. I was on a ferry, and I did not order breakfast, but the next thing I know is they're alerting me that my breakfast is ready. Curious, so I go check it out, and it was exactly what I didn't want to see. It's those little, the baby fish that they like cook alive, and it's like the whole fish, and I love fish, and I don't like how they're cooked, and you know, no hate to their culture, but I just personally didn't want to eat them. And then there's natto as well, and that was my breakfast, and I was like, ooh. And it's very, very, very impolite to not eat the food that's given you in Japan. And as someone who's incredibly picky and sensitive with foods, it was horrible. Not that I don't like Japanese food, but I didn't really want to eat the cooked alive baby fish and the natto. Honestly, the natto was fine. And actually, the flavor of the baby fish was fine because I forced myself to do it anyway because it's very impolite not to eat the food in Japan. But I didn't really want to. I didn't want to. But it was just a situation that happened and I made the best of it. It was kind of funny in the end, but yeah, because like here if you don't eat all your food, you just take it as leftovers as takeout. That's not really a thing they do there. You don't get a takeout box. You don't get leftovers, you eat it all, or you are rude and you trash it. Because it basically is telling the chef, oh, thanks for cooking this for me, but I think it's trash and, you know, your effort is wasted on me and I'm ungrateful. That's like basically what you're saying. It's not really what you're saying, but that's how it comes across. At least that's what my Japanese friends said. And you know how big they are on politeness, so I had to force myself to eat it. But I'm like, why are you guys giving me breakfast? I didn't order breakfast. I did not ask for the breakfast. I don't know. Crocs aren't okay though. No. Logan Paul ruined Pokemon cards. A lot of these influencers, he's an influencer, right? A lot of these guys ruined a lot of things for us, didn't they? What's my thing that I'm gonna ruin? Am I an influencer? I don't know if I am or not, but if I am, I've got to find something I've got to ruin, because that's like what they do, right? Influencers just go around ruining things, right? What can I ruin? How about your guys' day? Alright guys, tell me something about yourself so I can tell you how you're awful. Let's see. As someone that already walks everywhere, I think I'd be fine. Well, they probably already have decent shoes. I don't know. You're allergic to grass? Oh no. Really? Oh no, that's not good. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You got sick for 2 days there. You don't ever get sick. Traveling, you'll just get sick no matter what, I swear. No matter where you go, probably. You tried raw eggs? Where did you try those, Jojo? Where'd you go for that, huh? Does Mei hate Crocs because of Idiocracy? No, I just kind of hate them, you know? I did see Idiocracy though. I don't remember that scene with the Crocs, but I did see the movie, yeah. Mei is right. I got new shoes, and besides those 2 days, I walked for 15 hours straight the days I could. Yeah, I walked quite a lot. I lost like 12 pounds, I think. And I didn't have much to lose, but I lost like 12 pounds. Mei ruined being a Mei watcher. Absolutely. I'm so glad to hear that. What else can I ruin for you? You went into a few ramen places that serve raw eggs in the broth? That doesn't count because the heat of the... No, what the hell? That doesn't count. Because if that counts, then I did eat a raw egg. Because here's the thing. The hot broth of the ramen cooks it slowly for you, so it's not even raw. You're a faker. You didn't even try raw egg. You're a big faker. You're a big faker. No, I'm just kidding. I guess it counts. I don't know. I don't count it, but if it counts for you, I guess... I don't know. I just went to sushi with my friends and I got like a big Coca-Cola and some French fries and some Hamburg sushi, and that's what I got because I'm American. Fuck yeah. It was like the most American thing you could order at a sushi place. I don't know why I did it. I'm crazy like that. Yeah, the food is, I would say if you ever go to a trip to Japan, one thing you're really going to want to do is try to eat as much as you can. Try all the foods, try all the places. I love go-go curry. I love go-go curry. I like katsu curry in general. It's just really good. I like katsuya. I like go-go curry. Those are my 2 favorite curry places. Anyways, this was supposed to be about hobbies and I started rambling. Do you guys want to have anything about hobbies? Do you guys need me to give you a hobby? Do you want to tell me about your hobbies? Do you want to hear about my hobbies? My fish are doing well, by the way. The corridors laid eggs. I don't know what happened to the eggs though. Probably my fault for not taking them out. But I couldn't really take them out because they were a bit fragile, so I was waiting for them to toughen up and next thing I knew they're gone. I don't know. Axolotls are doing great though. Ooh, you're going to Japan this winter and you're gonna visit Osaka? I loved Osaka. I went all over. I did a road trip. Yep. I visited like Nagasaki and Nagoya and of course Tokyo and kind of everywhere in between, and Fukuoka, Osaka, Kobe, what's the other place? Kagoshima? I went all over and everywhere in between. Yep, I went all over for my Japan trip. Now I hope you have fun in Osaka. What's there, huh? Since your phone broke, you stuck to your friends and we literally ate McDonald's and Taco Bell? Well, you didn't try Japanese stuff? Why did you eat McDonald's and Taco Bell? What the heck? That's crazy. I didn't even know there was a Taco Bell there. Well, I learned there was one in Shibuya later, but I didn't know. Also, hi, Psychic Flora Dancy. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome on in. How you been? Yeah, we had takoyaki. Wait, face spotted? Wait, Dionko? Wait, Dionko was here? Huh? I didn't see. Wait, Dionko, you raided me. Oh my god. Oh my god, Dionko, thank you so much for the raid. I didn't realize you were still streaming. How did your stream go? Oh my goodness, I totally missed that. Yo, thank you, Dionko. Welcome on in, everybody. If you're new here, I'm Mei Miyuri, the axolotl alchemist, and I'm talking about my hobbies today and hopefully trying to give you guys a new hobby. Right now, we're talking about our Japan trip, and we just kind of rambled about hobbies, so if you have something you're curious to try, let me know. If you have any hobbies, let me know what they are. If you don't have any hobbies, I'll help you find one. We're just kind of having a nice just chatting stream, very opinionated, about all sorts of things and hobbies and niche interests that I'm trying to kind of focus my content on. So welcome on in. About me, I've got aquariums. I raise and breed axolotls, fish, and shrimp. I also like Soulsborne games, I like music, I create original and cover songs, so welcome on in, everybody, and welcome on in, Dionko. It's always nice to see you. I love Dionko. If you don't know, I love Dionko. She's the best. She's really the best, and she's such a good friend to me. We're doing some more collabs lately and planning some stuff together, and I'm having a lot of fun with that, so thank you for including me, Dionko. Thank you for the raid. Thank you, thank you. We were playing Bioshock, right? I played Bioshock forever ago, but it's like so scary. I don't like scary things. How did you beat it? You were near the end of the game, right? But yeah, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for being here, everybody. Let's see. Your hobby's taking a bath every day. You should try it. Absolutely not. I take a shower like twice a week, maybe once. Oh my god. I don't even have a bathtub. You have too many hobbies, from sculpting to science. That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Sculpting, that seems like a difficult one, but it must be rewarding. Need to get back into anime? I've got some recommendations for you if you need some. Ooh, Dionko. We love Dionko. Let's see. Bioshock was so fun. Oh, really? Oh, it's kind of creepy though, isn't it? But I mean, that doesn't mean it's bad. I'm just a scaredy cat. Yeah. You burned the submarine. Isn't it underwater? How did you burn it? Huh? Oh, how did that work? How do you burn the submarine? You just set it on fire? I know you're an arsonist, but what the heck? It was their decision. Sadly, I was outvoted. Yeah, what the heck? Who goes to Japan for McDonald's and Taco Bell? That's crazy. Tell your friends their opinion sucks. Oh my goodness. Tell your friends that if they disagree with Mei Miyuri, they're just wrong. No, I keep telling everyone, don't get your opinions from Mei Miyuri, except for when I'm right, like right now. Hello, Mei in 3D. How are you doing today? I'm doing good, Martin. Welcome on in. Good to see you. How are you doing? How's your week going? Super scary though? Oh, is it? May love. Oh, thank you, Dionku. You're so sweet. You know, my mom calls Dionko Dionku, and I kind of like it, so I never correct her. Yeah, my mom, she knows Dionku, and I don't want to correct her because I think it's kind of cute. It reminds me of Shinku from Rose and Maiden. Bioshock was submerged Pragmata before Pragmata? Really? Oh, you're only halfway through the game? Oh, really? I thought you were near the end. Oh, okay. There's a connection between those two games? I liked what I played of Pragmata. It's pretty fun. It's super scary. I didn't realize I got this immersed in first-person games. Oh yeah, I like them. I don't play a lot of first-person games, but they're fun. It's what inspired Pragmata? Right, really? What makes you say that? Like, okay, can you tell me without any spoilers, or is it spoilers? If it's spoilers, maybe tell me in DMs, but I'm kind of curious why you would say that. Is there like a cute girl you protect? Some metals can burn and the temperature is so high, water actually feeds the fire? Whoa, can it melt steel beams? See, that's all I know about Bioshock besides the badass bee powers? There's bee powers, huh? I didn't hear about that. Let's see, did you go to any of those family restaurants? Absolutely. Oh my god, let me tell you guys. Let me tell you guys about the Japan experience. When you first go, you hear about these places like Caesarea. Oh, I gotta go to Caesarea, that's what everybody does. And Caesarea is nice. You know, Caesarea has its place. Caesarea is pretty cheap, it's fun, it's enjoyable. I like Caesarea, I've been there many, many times. But there's a point where you realize Japan trips, it's all about the food, right? But it's not about the Caesarea. It's about the secret home, you know, homely themed family diner places that you really gotta look for that nobody mentions except the people who've been there a lot. And let me tell you about one of those right now. It's a little secret that my friend who visits Japan a lot told me, that my Japanese friend who lives there, he didn't even know about this place. He really enjoyed it though. Let me tell you, the one place you have to go is called Rakeru. Rakeru. R-A-K-E-R-U. It's a nice little diner. The one I went to was always in Ikebukuro, but there's multiple locations. It's a bit hard to find. But Rakeru is a nice themed diner. It's got really cute girls, and the nice thing is they've got the old, like, what do they call it? Like the old timely sort of almost American diner, like from like 50-60 years ago, probably longer actually. And they have these outfits that are quite classy, matching outfits, and they even have a spot, like a checkered red and white pattern that matches the tablecloths. I really actually adored that small detail. And you're gonna want to go in there and you're gonna order the same thing every time, just like I did. I went there several times. I always ordered the same thing. And you're gonna get the alma rice with the Hamburg steak. And this is gonna be the best thing you've ever tried in your entire life. I don't care if you don't like eggs or you don't like steak. This is the best thing. And it just melts in your mouth. And you know what? I am so picky. And I eat like one meal a day. I actually hate eating. I'm just like, I don't like food. But I could go to Rakeru every day and enjoy it as much as I did the first time. You've got to go. Anyone, even if you've been to Japan before, you got to put this on your next trip agenda. The Mei agenda demands it. You gotta go to Rakeru in Ikebukuro or wherever else, because it's like the best food you'll ever have, and they've got like the cafe au lait and the nice parfaits. Yeah, if you want a nice parfait to complete, you know, with a dessert, they've got the whole everything. And the cute girl with the pom-poms in her hair and the twin tails, oh, I'm sure she remembers me. Anyway, it's just a nice experience overall, and it's usually pretty quiet. Every time I went, it wasn't too crowded, but I also went at odd times. But it's just great. I love little things like that actually make eating and the experience overall enjoyable, because it's not just about the food, it's about the whole experience. Yup, you just gotta go. You can tell them that Axolotl girl sent you. They won't know what you're talking about though. Let's see, so yes, I did. Let me think of where else I went that's really worth going. I mean, I already mentioned Gogo Curry and Katsuya. I went to the Katsuya and Akihabara. I guess there's other locations. You gotta get the Katsu curry there. But there's something about that alma rice and Hamburg steak. And like, Caesarea is fun, because Caesarea is cheap, but it's just like cheap whatever. You know, when you're looking at the menu and the most appealing thing is the pizza with corn on it, you know there's a problem. Like, pizza with corn on it? Really, Japan? What's going on there? Yeah, let's see. You're showing me a picture? Oh, wait, did you DM me? Hold on, let me see. Chotodake, let's see what Dianku sent me. Oh! I see what you mean. There's definitely a resemblance. I see what you mean, Dianku. I think I prefer Diana though, but I see the idea. It's really cute. Thank you. Rockabilly, I got no idea. I don't know. I'm not I'm not a America-boo, I'm a weeaboo. When I was little, meat tasted like cardboard to me, but changed in puberty. Now I think it's tasty. It could have been that your taste buds changed, or it could have been that, like, it was just cooked like shit. Like, I always didn't like pork because my mom didn't know how to make it right. She always overcooked it, and so it kind of was like cardboard. And then I realized, oh, that pork katsu curry is to die for, yeah. Curse combo, The only Japanese food I experienced was katsudon. It was amazing. Well, I hope you get an experience to try more. You definitely should try more if you ever get the opportunity. Just got to Kura Sushi. I'm about to go. That's why I started the stream earlier today, is because there's a Star Rail collab at Kura Sushi today. So Nepgear let me know about it. I have to go because I love Star Rail and I love Hanabi, and they have Hanabi merchandise. So that's my thing. So I'm gonna go later after stream's over and after I take a shower, probably. Alright, well, let's see. What did we talk about earlier? I'm gonna go over it a little bit again for those who just got here. If you don't want to read the transcript when the stream's over or watch the whole damn stream, we're just talking about hobbies. So, I kind of went over my hobbies. I have got a lot of them. I have too many hobbies. But we're also talking about, you know, how could we create or discover new hobbies? What would you say about, like, getting a new hobby if you're interested? What are you interested in? You know, just blindly hopping in doesn't always work. Sometimes you don't know where to start. So we kind of talked about how to start a new hobby, how to find a new hobby, and how to go about it. We said, just to go over the points pretty quickly, stop looking for the one hobby that you think is best. Why don't you just try it out? Whatever you're curious about, you don't have to stick with it. You can just simply try it, see if you like it, and just see if it's something you'll continue into next week. The second point I went over was not to look for something you're good at, but to something you care about. You know, what videos do you watch for fun? What stores do you go into, and what kind of things do you look at there? You know, you don't ask what you're good at, you ask what do you like. And then we said start small, because you can't just, like for me with my aquariums, I've got multiple aquariums, freshwater. But if I just wanted to start a big fancy tank like I have today, like, let me tell you, I've got some nice tanks. Planted, beautiful species and everything, but you don't just start with that. You can't compare yourself to people who are been years into a hobby, because you gotta start a bit small and work your way up. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it's about the journey, not the end goal. We also said, don't turn it into a research project, just go for it. You know, do some research, but don't just, you know, get stuck and never actually do it. We also said to accept the awkward beginner phase, because nobody likes being bad at things, but the truth of the matter is that everybody is. At least they started that way, like me with singing. I don't even think I'm that great at singing now, but I was definitely a lot worse when I started. We also said borrow the hobby before buying the hobby, because there's lots of cheap or free alternatives to most things, and to try and build a community about it. I do have a question for you. I kind of ended up rambling about things towards the end because we had more time, you know. I went over everything I wanted to say and then we started rambling because we had more time than we thought. But if I do leave you guys with something, I see some people have got to go and we're kind of reaching the end of the stream. Not really, we still got about 25 more minutes, but let's just end with this question. It's not the end of stream question, but just ask yourself, you can answer this in the comments. You can answer this in the comments, but we always do an end of stream question. We're not doing one today, so this isn't like anything official. Feel free to comment your answer or whatever you want to do. But the question I want to ask is, after everything we talked about today, what is the hobby you've always wanted to try but never started? So like if money, let's say hypothetically money and skill were not an issue, what hobby would you start right now? So let's see what your responses are. You can answer now in chat or you can answer on the comments and stream. Whatever you do, thank you either way for being here and talking with me. Tuliplu's gotta go. I'll see you next time. Bye bye, Tuliplu. Take care, take care. I see Jojo's heading to sleep, and so is Cal, so take care, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye bye, Jane. Dan Larson says, same with me with turkey. Oh yeah, turkey I used to think was like so bland. You said growing up your mom would cook the crap out of it and it would always so dry and depressing. Yeah, why do boomers do that? I swear. Or just like older generation, older people, I don't know. Yeah, you just gotta learn how to cook it right. That's true of a lot of things. It's all about how it's prepared. I didn't think I would like eggplant, but I tried eggplant once when it was prepared pretty nicely. I liked it. Feels hard to answer given what you already do. Well, that's fair, that's fair. You don't have to answer, just Any sort of anything is fine. Big C says, my hobbies are pretty much just gaming, reading, TV shows, and playing guitar. All those are awesome, valid hobbies. All of which I've done since I was a teenager. Seem to struggle to stick with new hobbies as an adult. Well, you know, as an adult, even if you have adult money, not saying you do, but even if you do, we also find that we have a lot more responsibilities, so it feels like a lot less time, so that's perfectly understandable. You just listed 4 hobbies right there. That's plenty. That's more than a lot of people, so don't feel like you gotta pick up something else. But if you want to, I hope you will find the time and means to do it. Let's see, if you really actually think about it, the boomer generation is the worst generation in history. Oh, don't get me started. I absolutely agree. Because we are having to deal with so much crap that they started exactly. Oh god, don't get me started on the boomers, man. Like, I am not a hateful person. I am not a controversial person. But if you start me on the boomers, they are the most entitled generation that there has ever been, and has done absolutely nothing to earn or warrant this entitlement. Let me tell you, they had it all, and they still act like they got... Like, they literally had it better than every generation that ever came before them. And better than us. Better than any generation that came after them. And they still bitch and complain. I don't know how they do it. I wish I had such a skill. Oh, yeah. Alright, any boomers in chat just left. Good riddance. Alright. Yeah, you're not wrong at all. Don't get me started on the boomers. And honestly, there's exceptions. Okay, there's exceptions to every rule. But... am I not allowed my one thing, guys? Can I not be a hater? Like I said, hating. It's the cheapest hobby. It's the most available hobby. Yeah, being nice and being happy is free too. But you know what else is free? Being a fucking hater. That's the, you know, it's not just cheap, it's literally free. That's why I'm such a hater to all you guys. No, I like you guys. I like you guys. Damn, be those old people. I know, right? You know what? I don't want, AI or a teenager to be, you know, like when I go to McDonald's, I don't need anyone to do my order, except I want Linda, the 65-year-old who was a line cook for most of her life. I want her to be making my hamburger, because goddamn, she better not get it wrong with all those years of experience. And you might say, how can you make those poor boomers work at a McDonald's for you? Well, that's how they're gonna get in the good boy points into the retirement home. Let me tell you what, retirement homes ain't free. If you work and get my order right enough times, maybe I'll put you in a good retirement home. Maybe things will work out if we just have the boomers be our corporate slaves. That's my plan for society. In fact, what if we just put all of the boomers 65 years old and up? What if we just like rounded them up and put them in like their own neighborhood so they leave us alone? Oh wait, hold up, they already do that. Those are senior communities, which by the way, they're paying a lot less in rent than we are. Just saying, they've created their own haven where they don't have to deal with us. But when we go out, somehow we still have to deal with them. Don't get me started on boomers. I think they should be making my McDonald's order, because every time I go to McDonald's, I get it wrong anyways. I ask for a sausage egg McMuffin, and they give me like ham or some shit. I don't know how you can fuck that up, guys. But if it was a boomer, I would feel a lot more happy about taking my anger on them. Anyways, let's see what you guys are saying. Does you guys agree with me or not? They complain when millennials don't own their homes. What do we own? We own nothing. And we will be happy. We own nothing, and we will eat the bugs. You can't even own a copy of a video game anymore. It's a digital copy, and they'll take it from you if you're offline for 30 days, probably. Or, I don't know, they'll find some reason to take it from you and then sell it to you again for double the price. Anyways, let's see. Tooth Blue's headed out. See ya, Johnny. Oh, I think I already said that to them. Green Cobbler says, I want to try growing flowers. That's an awesome hobby. Go for it. I find them beautiful and peaceful. What's your favorite flower? I love flowers. That's an awesome hobby. I would love to do that. I'm really embracing my seasonal hobbies right now. Going outdoors, fishing, hiking, and cycling mostly. Dude, I want to try fishing. Fishing, that is such a based hobby. I mean, all of those are, Sleepy Boy, but especially, ooh, fishing. So relaxing. It's so nice. I like that. I really like that. I've got the gear. I just need to go out, get my fishing license, and go for it. Yeah. I'll have these passing phases of hobbies. Sometimes I focus on a thing for 2 to 3 weeks and milk as much info as I can about it. Last month there was Warhammer 40k and Airsoft. I'm Polish, we don't have guns. Hey, that's still super cool. And even if you don't stick with it, I'm sure you'll find something that you do. And maybe you can be like a jack of all trades that knows a little bit about everything, huh? You got a lot of expertise there then, huh? Let's see, in the UK at least, they went to university for free. Yup, bought multiple houses and property while it was all cheap in the 70s and 80s. Yup, and we've got nothing to show for it for our generation because they're hoarding it all. And yeah, they artificially raise the prices. Yeah, and they won't even sell it to you. They'll make you rent it forever and then they'll give you some stupid rules you gotta follow. And then they complain why millennials don't even own their own homes. Exactly. I thought we were going somewhere darker. No, I'm just kidding around, guys. I'm going somewhere darker. Oh, we could. Your first mistake is going to McDonald's. Wow, where else am I supposed to get a sausage egg McMuffin at 7 a.m.? May, have you considered eating less avocado toast and buying fewer iPhones? Actually, that's funny because I don't eat avocados. I have never had avocado toast in my entire life, actually. I never have. I'm sure it's good, but I like avocados, but I just don't typically eat them because they're so damn expensive. As for iPhones, I only have one iPhone. Actually, I was mostly an Android person, and the only reason I got an iPhone actually was because I needed it for the live 2D tracking for this model and my other one, so that's my excuse, is because I'm a VTuber, okay? So I got my reasons. I'm normally an Android user. Let's see, I got a McChicken no lettuce from a boomer, and I got buns with lettuce and no chicken. Exactly, they can't even do anything right. They try and act like they know an expert on everything, but they can't even figure out how to put together a sandwich. I mean, neither can I, but I can use a computer, and boomers can't. That's one thing that I have above them. Let's see, oh, speaking of flowers, my lily bloomed. Oh, I want to see you post on your Twitter. I want to see a photo. I'll have to check that out. I love flowers and I love aquatic things and aquatic plants and flowers and fish and aquariums. They're so fun. I love them so much. I love when Mei starts swearing, you know, she's imparting great wisdom on us. My wisdom of hatred for boomers. I've got some wisdom in me. That wasn't it. I swear that wasn't it. Oh my god. Yeah, you're gonna have to, I still need to DM you about those Medaka, huh? I keep forgetting. Yeah, I need some more Medaka in my life. Alright, yeah, we're not doing an end of string question, but leave me with that though. What's a hobby you guys would start if money and skill and time were not an issue? What hobby would you guys do? I might not read them next stream because we've got to read last stream's end of string questions, so we're not going to read them, but just leave a comment. For example, with me, I started liking anime, so then I got into cosplay. From cosplay, I got into photography. I also got into anime figures because I liked anime, and then the natural progression with that was I got into dolls because they're kind of all the fun of a figure, but then you can pose them, change the eyes and change the hair and, you know, their clothing. And another fun thing, it got me into photography as well, but I like customizing them, so I ended up learning how to make doll eyes and learn how to... Well, what I do is I do like digital art and then I print them out and then you put them on like this little white stone and you use resin and like a bit of glitter to decorate it. So I make my own doll eyes and I ended up selling some even. And that's fun. I like creative hobbies like that. So everything is kind of like a rabbit hole, and like you start with one thing and next thing you know it turns into 10 hobbies. Let's see, for the guns, she's just naturally born with it. Yes and no. Like, I mean, I grew up in a state where, like, everybody had them. It was just an outdoor thing. My family was into it because it's just an outdoor thing. And so I did learn to shoot when I was a kid, but I think I really got into it as an adult because, like, ammo is expensive. You know, your uncle's not going to let you borrow his BB gun forever, and I didn't just stop at BB guns, but you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of got a barrier of entry. It's not super easy to get into. Unless you like know someone who helps you, but you know, it's fun, it's a good skill to have. I'm not some competition pro, but I think I'm better than the average person. I can usually get the general aim, and especially, you know, with shotguns when you go shoot the clays at the range. So that's really fun. That's kind of different though. I'm not very good at using shotguns because they're heavier and it hurts my weak puny arms, and so I mostly stick with handguns. But yeah, it's fun. I like all sorts of things. If you're new here and don't know me, I have all sorts of hobbies. I play Soulsborne games, karaoke, original songs, and cover songs. I gotta do more content like that. But I'm gonna more focus on my hobbies. So to end the stream, in a minute here, but to end off on a good note, I'm gonna say I'm gonna try and focus in on my niche hobbies a bit more. So I expect, okay, for members, we're gonna have a figure unboxing stream every month. So that's be like a hand cam review with my figures, because I've got a bunch I need to unbox. And then twice a month, more if I can manage it, but at least twice a month I'm gonna do a video with like the aquariums for an aquarium update. I'll answer any frequently asked questions you guys might have about the axolotls or the fish there. Maybe shrimp breeding, I do that. I raise axolotls, usually I have them on the camera, don't today because I'm using it for hand tracking, but all sorts of stuff with aquariums. And then I'm gonna try and do at least once a month a collection showcase of maybe the art books or trading cards or patches or whatever else I have hand cam there. So that's what those plans are. And probably do like a specialized stream, like maybe have 1 month I focus on dolls and 1 month where I focus on, I don't know, whatever else. Like we'll talk about things, we'll figure things out, but that's a plan. I'm still going to play my Soulsborne games. I'm still going to have my usual regular content. I also might start streaming at this time that I started today in the afternoon, because usually I stream in the evening for US time. I'm going to try and do a bit of both, because I was thinking about it, like, really, I have such a nice community. I'm very lucky to have you guys and the success I do have, and I've got to do more with it, you know? I have all these ideas, but I just don't seem to execute them. So one thing I'm going to work on today, besides the things I just mentioned, is I'm also trying to work on reaching out to people, because I'm very shy. I only really collab with like Dianco or Yui, and I want to change that. I'm going to reach out to more people for collabs this year, and like for the rest of the year going forward. I also want to appear at more events. There was the Cherry Blossom event, which was my first one I ever came to, and I want to reach out more. So I'm just going to try and, you know, pitch my pitch and shoot my shot at all these events and conventions, see what I can appear at. Hopefully there will be more of that by the end of the year. And I'm just going to try and put myself out there. I really do love my audience. I love my hobbies. I love what I built here. I love my, you know, my character. I want to do more with her lore, because I need to upload the lore video. I just haven't uploaded it yet. And so stay tuned if you like anything like that. If you have any sort of these niche hobbies, if you have, you know, any common interests with me or video games you like, feel free to join our community. We've got a Discord. You can type !Discord. Feel free to hop on in. We've got a Minecraft server, and I like to stream pretty regularly, at least 3 times a week, so I guess that's not too regularly, but working on it. That's my pitch. Welcome on in, everybody. Also, hello, Roby. Good to see you. How have you been? Welcome on in. It's always a pleasure when you can drop by. How have you been? What are you up to? So you should definitely get out and go fishing. I agree. I need to this summer, don't I? I've been telling all the cute bass in Ohio about the axololi vtuber. Oh, nice. I'm so glad you have. I mean, I'm not in Ohio, but if I ever went, I would definitely have to go hit you up for some fishing. That sounds awesome. Also, what's a mazer? Good evening, mazer. What kind of name is that? What's a mazer? I don't know. Mazer? We call you guys Axopals. Axopals, okay. Well, anyways, thank you all for being here. We had a pretty fun, I think it was pretty fun just chatting stream about all my hobbies, about all these hobbies that you guys have, how to get into these hobbies, what's accessible, what we think about normies and boomers, all sorts of opinions and fun stuff today. We have talked a lot about Japan as well. I think it was a pretty productive stream, and I've got a lot of plans for the future. And shout out to Dianco, thanks again for the raid, and also, honestly, thank you to her for letting me be a collab partner and her friend, because she's just an awesome person. Make sure you go check her out and sub to her as well if you haven't already. And as for me, please give me a like and subscribe as well. It really helps me out. If you can hit that notification bell, if you can leave a comment, if you can join the Discord, if you can join us for next stream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my screen when my next stream is. On chotto dake. Alright, let me move it so it's like up here. My next stream is going to be on Friday, June 26th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. So it won't be the early stream like today, but it'll be the usual time. Hope you guys can make it. And if you can't, that's okay. We'll do more afternoon streams in the future. Can you give a last minute hobby? You want a new hobby? Is that so? Let me think of one for you. What's a good hobby? Because I'm trying to think of something you probably don't already do. And that's more accessible. Oh, a good hobby for axolotl eater. I would say, oh goodness, how's about try a new type of music? And I guess that's not, you might be like, well, that's kind of lame. How about you spin the wheel on some random type of genre or type of music and get really into it. Give it a real chance. Okay, how about some post-rock, shoegaze, or math rock, alt idol, Toho arrangements. Okay, something silly like that. If you need some music recommendations, feel free to DM me, hit me up, you know where to find me. And if you say that's not good enough for you, how's about learn an instrument from a song you really like? How's about that? I'm sure you can find some sort of something somewhere, and if you don't have the instrument, there's plenty of like those MIDI controller keyboards that you can produce music with. Like just download like some DAW, digital audio workstation, and get one of those cheap MIDI keyboards from a pawn shop. You can do it. You can become a music producer. Why don't you make a song for me? Anyways, that's a hobby I've got for you. Thanks for the stream, everybody. Thanks to Dianco again. Thank you all for being here, listening to me, and talking with me. Green Cobbler says, thanks for the stream. You're welcome. I enjoyed coming back, and your streams are the ones I can really watch fully. That means a lot to me. Thank you. That's a high compliment. That's high praise. Thank you. That means a lot to me because I'm not really the kind of person who watches full streams myself. I prefer, you know, I've got limited time. I prefer to edit my own videos, and when I watch something, it's usually a clip or some sort of like just music in the background. So thank you. Really appreciate that. I'll see you guys on Friday. Can't say peak may combined. It would sound like peak. What the heck? What peak? I don't know what that means. Let's see. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome, Sub-Zero. Good to see you as always. And hi, Stefu. You know, you said something earlier, Stefu, and I didn't say hi to you, so I'll say it now. Sorry, it's a bit late. Hope you're doing okay. Mazer reminds me of a Principal Mazer from a Goofy movie. Ooh, I don't know if I like that nickname. Let's see, watching VODs is a pretty sick hobby. Yeah, that's a good one too, and that's great. Thank you all for all the VOD watchers. You'll listen to Taylor Swift and Beyonce? Okay, whatever suits you. I love chilling with Mei and the Axolotls. Me too. I love that Mei girl. Nah, I don't know. Thanks guys for chilling with me. I do love the Axolotls. We'll stay on Mei Mei for now. Yeah, Mei Mei. It's a good nickname. Mei Moo? Like Reimu? Mei Moo? I don't know. Well, does anyone, before we go, we've got a few minutes here. Did anyone need a new hobby who wants me to give them one? If you want a new randomly assigned hobby for me to give you that I hope you will try and I expect you to try, ask now. Ask now. You've got like 1 minute. And we'll wrap things up because I gotta say thanks to the axolotls. And let's see what else I got here. Oh wow, I'm 1 subscriber away from 3,600 subscribers, so thanks all you guys for being trapped here with me. Thanks for all your support, honestly, over the past couple years and a half, so thank you. 1 subscriber away from 3,600, wow. And I just remember when we reached 3,500 the other day, so I wonder who it'll be. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do give me a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, join the Discord, and make yourself at home. Let's see. Chuki says, what's your new hobby? Ooh, you've got a lot of hobbies already, so it's hard to say. A lot of hobbies already. But let's think of one for you. I'm gonna say, how's about stargazing? But we won't just end with stargazing. How about you really give it like a proper, like, learn the constellations? And there's a difference between astronomy and astrology. I'm gonna say learn a bit about astronomy. That'll be fun. Go for it. That's your new hobby, and if you don't like it, you don't gotta stick with it. Also, thank you to Dan Larson. Oh my god, thank you so much for the 5 Mei Miyuri memberships. And welcome on in everybody to the Axel Pals. We're doing more members only content soon. In fact, I forgot to mention. I forgot. I was gonna make the Friday stream members only figure unboxing stream. So that's what the Friday stream's gonna be, not DS2. Oh my god, what have I done? Because everybody said they were down for it. So Friday, it's at the usual time. We're gonna have a members only figure unboxing stream. Thank you again, Dan Larson, for your support and generosity. And welcome on in everybody for the memberships. Welcome on into the Axel Pals. Really appreciate it. Let's see, somebody make it happen. Yeah, somebody make it happen. And thank you again, Dan. You can see a lot of stars from your house? That's perfect! I'd love to see some pictures or stories or something. I hope you see a shooting star. I was surprised I saw a lot of shooting stars last time I went stargazing. That was really fun! And I think some of my wishes came true! I can't tell you what my wishes are, but I hope I see more, because I got more wishes to make. Yeah, I love shooting stars. I really think they came true, because I've been working on my goals. And I hope you guys are too. Green Cobbler says, thanks for the advice. Also, when streams are, I'm going to find events to plan your next Japanese trip. Awesome. And I think Twitter, whether you like it or not, it's a good resource to find like events like collabs, collab cafes, events, concerts, all sorts of expos. That's a great place is Twitter. And there's also certain websites for it. I can't remember right now, but check those out. Oh, there was a star shower 2 months ago in East Asia. That's cool. That's cool. Alright guys, well Carlos, you just got home, so it looks like it's time to end stream. Thanks Carlos for dropping by for this last 30 seconds. It's good to see you. I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys, but also thank you to the axolotls. So thank you for their support. We've got Bloodberry, thank you so much. Smoke Cocoa, thank you. Chikoko, thank you as well. We've got J-May, thank you. We also have Leo Ellen, thank you for your support. Then we've got Ty the Pie, thank you so much. We have Dan Larson, thank you, and for the memberships. Goddess Nepgear, thank you. And VipSnap, thank you as well. I appreciate all of you, everyone who's here, Maxolotl or not. It's good to have you. Carlos asked about the end of stream question. We didn't do one today. I didn't have time to read the ones from last stream, so we're not doing a question today because like I want to read the ones from last stream next stream. Oh, actually I guess I won't because it's a members only. But anyways, we didn't do an end of stream question today. But if you'd like to answer a question, why not make it about hobbies? Let us know what hobby you're interested in. If money, time, and skill were not an issue, what hobby would you start tomorrow? You can leave your answer in the comments. That goes to everybody. Leave your answer in the comments. Or just say hello or what you enjoyed about the stream or introduce yourself. Thank you all for being here. And thank you for your support. I'm really excited for the future. I'll see you guys on Friday if you're a member. If not, I'll see you guys next time, probably on, I think, Tuesday at the usual time. That'll be the next non-member stream. Yep, Carlos just arrived. Looks like we're gonna have to end the stream. Thank you for the stream. I enjoyed the collab event. Yeah, I gotta go to the collab event about Star Rail. That's why I rescheduled it. That's why I rescheduled it. So thank you, Dan. Thank you, everybody. Bye, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you next time. And Jane! Mata ne! Bye-bye! And oyasume! Oh, can I do it? Oyasume! Oh, I guess it's not oyasume because it's not nighttime. Well, the rest still works. Jane! Mata ne! Bye-bye! Bye bye. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.